Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Dan Watson.
I'm Paul Sloggett. This is Pudding Sloggett. Welcome to the dirt.
Today's episode, for your oral and viewing pleasure, is a wonderful young chap who goes by the name of Will Fox. He's co-host, originator of the Mountainboard's only other podcast, The Roll Situation. He's been in the UK community for a long time, and as you'll find out, he cut his teeth at one of my old favourite centres, and is dear to both mine and Sloggett's heart, that being Hart Hill. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the room, Mr. Will Fox.
Hello.
How are you?
Good evening.
Good evening, gents. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming
More
on.
than welcome.
It's that has been quoted in social media, the first Mountainboard podcast crossover, as we just said in your introduction there, co-host of Mountainboard's only other podcast, The Roll Situation.
That's right.
We will get onto that, ladies and gentlemen, in a wee while. But for the purposes of those around the world who may or may not be familiar with you, would you mind telling us a little bit about yourself, your origin story, Will? If you will, like, I think I heard of you via Hart Hill, and I think it's fairly safe to say that that's possibly where your journey began, but I could be, of course, 100% wrong. So please,
no, you are
just
correct. Yeah, no, you're right with that one. Yeah, Hart Hill is where it all started for me. So going straight in on the story, probably about, I think I was 8 years old, I reckon, first time I went up there, which is a long time ago now.
So hang on a minute. Where are you? Where did you grow up first?
Where?
You don't sound like a Hart Hill loco.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I was there from. I grew up in like Tarpley, which, do you know where that is? It's like near Hart Hill.
I know of, but I wouldn't be able to go, oh yeah, that's
So
it's about 3 miles away from Wrexham.
No, well, yeah, it's sort of like where Hart Hill is, like Tarpley's like 15 minutes away from there, so it's like local village. But there's a few mountain board types that come from there. It's like one of the sort of bigger villages around there, but not loads to do, I guess. But
is that anywhere near the boneyard?
Yeah, that's not super far. Yeah. Boneyard was probably like, not too far at all. I actually used to go and do both when I was a kid. It was like my parents would take me to the boneyard and I'd go like rollerblading there, and then they'd pick me up like halfway through the day and then take me up to Hart Hill, and then I'd go mountain boarding in like the afternoon. But
happy days. So I assume then, being local to the area, how did you come across it? Did you just drive past it, or was it like in the local paper, or what's the deal?
Yeah, we somehow got hold of a flyer, and I can actually like picture it in my head, and I wish I had it. It'd be something good for you to be able to put on the thing. But yeah, I remember like a family friend gave us a flyer, and was like, this looks pretty cool. And I was always into like rollerblading a bit and like skateboarding a little bit, but never like very serious. And then I think when you're a parent in the countryside, you're always just looking for stuff for your kids to do. So I think my dad just found this and was like, yeah, this looks fun, we'll go. So we went up to what it would have been Ride the Hill back in the day, wouldn't it? Ride the Hill.
Yeah.
Super Bowl.
What year do you think this was?
So this would have been, I'd have been 8 years old. So this would have been like 2003.
2003. So was that my tenureship?
See, I can't remember. That's the thing. So I went one time when I was 8 and just had a lesson, me and my older sister.
Yeah.
And we just had like the standard mountain board lesson, which I came to know very well later on down the line. And but did that. There's a few pictures of it as well. Like there's a picture of me like doing the rail, the little ride on ones and stuff.
Yeah.
And then yeah, we didn't really go back after that. I don't think it was like, I didn't get into it then. It was just like we just went as like an activity. Yeah. And I started really going when I was 10. I had my 10th birthday party again at Hart Hill, and we did a mountain board lesson with like all my mates. So that would have been like 2005. So was that when you were there? Was that?
It's got to have been around the time. So I mean,
I think it is, Dan.
yeah, I think if I mean,
Or,
would you have remembered any of the sort of pad monkeys or the other staff members at the time? Can you remember who your instructor was?
Yeah, I can't remember who my instructor was. I don't know who it was. I remember like Robbie. I think Robbie was around. Like, 'cause he was part of the furniture even from back then. So I think when we were all getting padded up, it was like Robbie and James Walker. Do you remember James?
Yeah, James. So that would have been that he was definitely my time. And you had the Pritchard brothers, the two that went on to the dancing fame.
That's right.
So yeah, it's got to have been around then. There are obviously a few other members of staff there of note, like Johnny was the young bloke on who sort of ran the office and the shop whilst we was out in Hill, and obviously Clive Godfrey,
Of course.
crazy Clive. Which we could fill I don't know. We could fill a lot of time talking about that.
I see you already have as well. I saw the episode where you had Mark and all the boys on, and there's a big.
That's it. I knew we had some. I knew that it'd come up in conversation somewhere before. But yeah, so and obviously Mark took it on after us. After Ride the Hill. So I'm assuming that after your 10th birthday party, did you return then with a bit more gusto and a bit more passion?
Somewhat more, yes. It was a bit more sporadically, but I think having my birthday party, I then had some friends that could also mountain board. Yeah. So, or to an extent, like enough to be able to come rent a board and we just have a little ride around. So we did do that now and then. It wasn't loads, and I was more into like the rollerblading at that point.
Yeah.
So like I was saying, we go to the boneyard and go rollerblading, and then mountain boarding was a bit more of like a little bit of an afterthought sort of thing. So I don't think I really got like stuck into like the community and started to know people at that point. It was more just going like every now and then doing a little bit of riding, on those old Ride the Hill junior decks, those wooden ones.
Wooden ones with the like the literal oil painting on the bottom of it.
Yeah, they were class. And then
I was going to pull one out of the fucking bag.
No. I just had a look, and it's right at the back. I'll be there for bloody ages.
I knew you fucking have one somewhere.
Don't worry. I reckon most of the people in mountain boarding nowadays will be able to picture one of those. I reckon a lot of people started on one of those bad boys. But
the Velcro post on them as well.
Yeah,
that was.
It wasn't bad though. You could sort of turn on them quite well.
They were like a pretty decent entry-level board for the money they were.
Yeah, definitely. And then
spring trucks on them, or even the juniors had spring-loaded trucks on them, didn't they?
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, because I had bought one like just to have as my own. I think I bought it off AJ Pritchard actually, and he sold me it for like 50 quid, and that was like my first actual board that I owned. Was like just one of those Ride the Hill decks, but I just like had my own one. I think you just kind of want that when you're a kid, don't you? And then you can like take it home and stuff. But yeah, and so that was what I rode for a bit. And then I think, like you said, Mark Hale came in and he was looking after the place with Clive. And I think that's when I really like got into the mountain boarding then, and I started like riding all the time. And then me and my friend Robbie, who's not Robbie Kinsey, this is another Robbie, who was like my mate at the time. Me and him both asked Mark for a job, and Mark always retells this story, like the more drunk he gets, like the smaller and younger I am in the story. He's always tells that I was like looking like below the desk, looking over, asking him for a job. But yeah, I don't know if I was quite that small, but yeah, and the story always gets told. But yeah, then I started being what you guys would describe as a pad monkey. I think we just call it pad boys at that time. And I started doing that, and that's pretty much when I started spending all of my time at Hart Hill.
Which is the worst job at a centre, being a pad monkey.
It's not just to an 8-year-old.
The wetness of those pads at the end of a summer session, it was disgusting, wasn't
it? Yeah, it was grim. That is pretty bad.
But I tell you what, if I was 10, 12 years old and had discovered mountain boarding, as the likes of the Bugs youth have, if I thought that I could just get dropped off down there week in, week out and spend summer time there, and all I have to do is pair up some bloody pads, I'd be all over that shit. like a fly on shit, I'd be absolutely yeah, like that. Give me some more pads.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there. That you're right. That it's just like somewhere when you're a kid and you can just get dropped off and just spend the whole day there, and your parents just disappear, and like you just spend the whole day like away from them, which was kind of nice. I guess not that I really wanted to get away from them, but you know, when you're a kid, that's what you want, isn't it? But
and
yeah,
like you could become semi-feral on site as well. Like, the rules were there, but they were very, very lax rules, and like you could get away with a lot more than you could under the watchful eye of your mum and dad.
Absolutely, yeah. There's all sorts of like activities to do in that lockup at the back there. There's all sorts of crafts that you could ride, or like just dangerous things in the back there, so you pretty much mess with any of them. I know. Yeah, it was all pretty good fun. I know Mark and Clive were pretty lax on, you know, what we were allowed to do, so it was all good fun. I think I was quite a young Mark Hale at that point. I think Mark would have only been in like his sort of early 20s or something like that, and then Clive, I've no idea how old Clive was, or
yeah, I don't know that I could tell you how old he was. Just you'd probably, if you were to see him now, I reckon he'd probably look exactly the same. In my mind, at least, he looks exactly the same. He'll have a hat like this on, but it'll be black. Some black flesh gear trousers, and yeah, a black fleece top. That'll be it.
That's pretty much how I remember as well. I remember actually on my first day there, I think I was like 11 or 12, somewhere around that point. And one of the main responsibilities as well as pairing up pads was like making cups of tea. So I remember Mark Hale being like, do you know how to make tea? And I was like, oh, no, not really. And he was like, right. So he showed me how to like make a brew with all the right waiting times, appropriate amounts. And he was like, and the next rule is if you're making a brew, Clive wants one. And that was just always the rules. And he used to like take them to him, and he'd have like about 5 lined up, and they'd be gone cold, but he'd still just power through them all anyway. So.
Yeah, he would douche, like fucking Jaeger bombs. Oh, they would. So I assume then that you had the slight, somewhat advantage of having the foam pit there at the time when you were there, or was that a bit later on?
Yeah, that was way later on. I think that's probably. I reckon I was about 16 or so when the foam pit got installed, or maybe even a bit older than that. So, yeah. So for a bit, I was just riding. There was all sorts to ride there, really. I think I got a comp 6 at one point, and that was when the game changed in terms of like doing tricks and stuff like that. But then, just because it was so much more lighter to throw around. But I think the game stepped up another level there when the foam pit got installed, like a little bit later on. But
so yeah, who were you? Whilst you're up there with you know, and you're doing your pad boy duties as such, who was your like ride crew? Were you starting to meet other people from outside your sort of like your local friendship group?
Yeah, for sure. So me and, as I mentioned before, my friend Robbie, who's not Robbie Kinsey, is another one. It was me and him that were sort of quite close mates from like school and stuff and mountain boarding, and we were both pad boys for quite a while. And then Robbie actually moved to Dubai, so he was like my riding buddy, so I got a bit more involved with all the other boys that were centered there, and obviously from working there as well. So that would have been Robbie Kinsey was sort of working there, but I think Clive actually sacked him, so but he was still sort of around.
Robbie Kinsey only ever sort of worked there. There were times when his physical persona might well have been there, but he certainly wasn't.
That's so true. Yeah. So yeah, there was Robbie. Then there was Henry. Do you remember little Henry?
Yeah,
anymore, but he was at the time.
Big Henry now. Yeah,
Big Henry. And then there was Oscar Travis as well. I don't know if you come across Oscar much before, but he was like the Sunday pad boy, but I started going both days as well, and so did Oscar, because I used to just go on the Saturday was my sort of day. But yeah, so that was like when I first started riding there, and obviously James and like AJ and Curtis there really early doors, but they kind of fell out of love with it a bit after a little while, I think. And then after that, there was the sort of next generation of the pad boys that came through, and that was like your Angus McDonald's and your Jack Dudleys and stuff like that, and they all came through in like the team extreme, and we were sort of coaching them a little bit, but then we got to know them, and and those boys all came through, and like Piers Sutton and a few of those boys in the next generation. So, but yeah, after a little while, there's quite a big group up there, and obviously there's like the older crowd as well. So I was sort of on the cusp of being one of the older like pad boys, but not quite old enough to be like, there's Mark, and then like Robbie was sort of in that group, and like Craig Popperwell and a few of those other lads. So yeah, Chris Horsley, I'm just name dropping here, but yeah, they used to take me on some trips and stuff as well, which is pretty cool.
Oh, go on then. Give us what was your top memorable trip from the Hart Hill days, and why was it so memorable?
Well, my first one, actually, the big one that I can remember, I was like, I think I was 13, and my mum let me go to Swanbook with everyone.
Nice. That's quite a big old journey for a person.
Yeah.
Let me get comfy. This one sounds like a cracker.
And Oscar was 13 as well, so, and his parents let him go, so I think that was all right. It was like, we're going, and yeah, it was like Mark, Chris Horsley, Simon Howard, I think Stu was on there. There's quite a few of us went down, long way, drove all the way to Swanbrook. It was absolutely miles from Cheshire, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we got there, and it was that year it just got completely rained off. Like the jumps were just like washed away, and just everything. And it was when we got there as well, I remember it just being a ridiculous storm, and it's just all a bit carnage. But we ended up going. We abandoned Swanbrook after a bit. They gave us loads of free Red Bull, which me and Oscar were pretty psyched about at that point, 13-year-olds.
That seems to be a rite of passage for Mountainboard youth of your generation, is the free energy drinks.
Yeah. It wasn't good for us, to be fair. We just sat in the back of his car just drinking free Red Bulls. I think Oscar ended up like waking up in the middle of the night, like just, I don't know, all sorts going on after all those energy drinks. But yeah, it was good fun. We ended up going to, where did we go? So we went to Bugs, I think, for a bit, and then we went to Swanbrook and stuff as well. There was a bit of a video of it. I think I was a bit injured, so I don't even think I was really riding when we were there. But yeah, it was still like a good trip. It was like nice to be away with all the boys, and there's a cool little edit of it somewhere that Chris Horsley did. But so
what year do you reckon that was?
Don't know. Must have been like 2007 or something like that, maybe 2008. Does that sound about right? I think so. Maybe a bit. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to work out what other competitions and stuff I would have done. But yeah, I think that was supposed to be like maybe my first one or competition, but I don't think it happened. I think my first ever one I did at Hart Hill for like a ATBA comp. That was really good fun.
Yeah, I mean that centre was so freaking good for all disciplines, really. No matter what you wanted to do, it had a bit of everything. They're available. So and all the riders that have grown up through that centre are all amazing. Like truly are like so smooth and clean. Like you take any of those riders and then put them on, like a more pristine track, like Bugs is now. Like it's a clean and tidy track for the. That and the freestyle, but I think the Hart Hill had an element. It was a bit of a burly BX there. Do you know what I mean? Like it really picked up with the steep and entrance down into that section in terms of pace, and the features, whilst big enough for the track. Sometimes you're having to control speed as opposed to look for speed. Is my point on that. And like the freestyle, there's everything from like the tiniest little kickers up to the the massive quarter pipe that was running there, and the big airs there. So you're able to put down such a solid foundation of everything that it just shows in everything. Like every rider that's come through there, Rob, all the riders that you've name dropped there are a top draw, aren't they? Really, I mean, you and Robbie, you sent me a picture or a video for that reel that we put out there before. But the pair of you, it was joyous to see it, to know that the pair of you local boys are just arguing it out down that track in such a high speed fashion,
Yeah.
and absolutely owning the old codger in. Sure.
We were actually verbally arguing as well, I think, on the way down. We were just shouting at each other. So on the way down, I quite like to chat to people when I'm racing. So I was definitely giving Robbie a bit of shit. There's quite a lot on that race as well from like growing up riding together. I don't think we'd actually ever like properly raced in a competition. So it was like, right, like Robbie is a bit quicker than me and I would expect him to win, but I was like, I'm going to give this a good go here because like, I could come out the underdog here and he would never let that down. So I had to give it a full go, but he did beat me in the end. So
I'm sure he's in being such a wallflower, he wouldn't have been given any chat back or nothing like that.
Yeah, no, he won't be able to handle
it. But yeah, I suppose it's just nice to see your generation of what I knew as the kids coming through and now being the adults of it and still absolutely sending it. I mean, I think, where do you think?
You're frozen. I don't know if you guys can hear me.
We can still hear you.
Oh, right.
Cool. Can still hear you.
You just froze out.
You're not frozen on our screens.
Oh, you froze out mid-statement there on my screen anyway. No, there's quite a few people that have come through there. It's still good to see that everyone's still riding. But you're right as well what you're saying about it being a Burley centre. I never really thought about that. But I think because it's so big and also it's so sandy as well, isn't it? They quite often wash away and like cause grooves. And that border cross was quite like bobbly, wasn't it? Quite bumpy and bobbly. So yeah, I guess going from there and then like riding somewhere like then what Out to Grass was like back in the day. Like that was like a motorway, wasn't it? Compared to
that was like sculpture. It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's unreal. So yeah, I think remember the Heart Hill one back in the day being a bit smoother. I think my first comp I did was like must have been around that 2007, 2008, something like that. And I remember it being pretty smooth because it got changed a few times, didn't it? That border cross, it was smoothish then, but yeah, no, it did get pretty bumpy after a
while. So you're coming on to what, 15, 16 there? Prime time, sort of, I don't know, influential years now, aren't we? I'm assuming, one would like to think that if you rose to the dizzying heights of having your own podcast and things like that, that you're quite an intelligent fella. Do you stay on at school?
Oh, your wingman who you do your podcast with is.
Did you stay on at school there and see that out and do university?
Yeah, well, mountainboarding didn't help with it actually. One time, like when I was in a competition at Heart Hill, actually, I broke my thumb on my right hand, and I was 16, and that was just before my GCSE exams. So that ties in nicely into that. But so I fell over the finish line in the semi-final of a race and broke my thumb, but I didn't realize it was broken. So I went up and I was like, I'm going to win if I go back up. So I went up, but this was like when it was like juniors or, when they split it out. So it was like 16 and under. So I was just in it. And then I won the race. I didn't really realize my thumb was broken and went up and did like the podium bit. And I shook hands and Ralph LaRoche was the chairman at the time. And I remember just being like, and I just really hurt my hand. And then I went off the podium. Went to like speak to my parents. My thumb was just absolutely massive. So I had to go back to school with it like in cast and I couldn't write any of my exams. So I had to have like a scribe and everything, but I wasn't really too bothered. That was like, I think that was the first mountain board comp I ever won. So I didn't really care about the school bit at that point. But
did your mum and dad care though?
No, they were pretty chill about it. I think they were just happy for me. But yeah, the exams and everything went okay anyway. And then
did having a scribe help? Like just dictating? I don't even have to write this shit. You just gotta you sit there and type what I say.
Yeah, potentially. I don't know. I mean, it'd be interesting to see how I would have done otherwise. But yeah, it went okay, I guess. Yeah, so education wise, I went to college after that. And interestingly, I went to one college and didn't do very well there. So I left there. And the next year I went to Rees Heath College, which is like in Nantwich near Heart Hill, really. And when I signed up my name for college, someone was in front of me in the queue and they were signing up themselves as well. And then it turned out to be Eamon. And Eamon was on the same college course as me. So he had been living in Nottingham, but he went and lived residential for college in Cheshire. So I was like, I recognised his name because I've sort of come across him at the comps before. So I was like, well, the hell, like you mountain board. And then, yeah, that's how I got to know Eamon, really, because we were on the same course for like 2 years doing adventure sports. So,
which is just mental.
Yeah.
That is, yeah, serendipitous, one might say. God, that's a big word to pull out.
Yeah, well done.
Even practicing.
He's definitely practicing. He got that pronunciation bang on, didn't he?
Yeah, I feel like I could see he's got it written down somewhere. He's like looking to the side of the screen.
Like, broken down as well.
I actually have serendipity written on a single grain of rice, and I keep it on a neck chain.
Wow.
I believe in that shit, you know.
Serious. Sure, you're not going to toe it across your ass.
Yeah, and a little slag tag right at the bottom. Serendipity. Where are we at? Oh man, it's so easy just to dive off into the depth.
When did you get your promotion from pad boy up to instructor?
Oh yeah, I've probably gone past that, to be fair. I think I was quite young. I think I was like 14. Because I think I grew at that age, so I was like the height I am now when I was 14. So from being like a pad boy, it was more like, you know,
pad man.
Pad man, yeah. So and all those other kids that come through, like Jack and Piers and all those boys, so they were the pad boys now. And then I did a bit of teaching. Like Mark just sort of showed me the ropes, and Adam Hale was there at that point as well. This is when it had become sort of Hale Super Bowl, and I used to like go all week in the summer and like teach kids camps, and that's when some of the other kids come through, like the ones that are even a little bit younger than Jack and that, like Mark Adams and kids like that coming through. So I always say that I take responsibility for Mark because I gave him his first mountain board lesson. But
that was exactly what I was going to just ask. Like, do you still see any of the people that you taught to mountain board?
Yeah, just Mark, I think. But yeah, he's a pretty good one, I guess. He's probably
definitely. Looking another ripper who owned me at Hart Hill. Probably, I don't know when that was, maybe back in 2014, 2012, 2014. Never seen the kid before. So it's some 14-year-old Grom lining up, and just hit with him, Brindy and James Wanklin. There's a cracking photo of us.
Really?
I'm pretty sure it's been out before somewhere. But yeah, all racing fourth. And I'm stuck at the fucking back. and I think Madams is in second, Wanklin's in third, and Brindy's leading the pack. But just like, who is this kid? Of course, now, I mean, look at him. This last year, I'm so stoked to see him like back riding more often. I mean, do you ride with him more often now? Do you still see Madam?
I still see him. Yeah, like we went to the same school and stuff. Me and Mark, even though he's quite a bit younger, but so we've got some friends from a similar area. So sometimes we go like skating and stuff. But yeah, I don't see loads of Mark. I just see him sort of over. We go to the skate park or we do a little bit of riding. But he's gone to Canada now, so he's gone out there for a bit. So I'm going to go visit him and his other mate this year. They're out there, so that'll be cool.
In the snow?
Yeah.
Oh,
nice. Looking forward to it.
Lucky.
But, can't remember what I was up to. Got sidetracked on Mark Adams.
Well, we was talking about your experiences of instructoring, weren't we?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I assume obviously you guys are part of Ride the Hill for a while, weren't you? I guess you had to go through like an instructor course and stuff back then. Was it like a?
Yeah. That's how I first met Mark Hale. He came down to XBP to do his instructor training course.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Nice.
So they had
before we went up, because back up that way a few times.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Simon Packer at Ride Hill used to offer all sorts of different lesson plans and levels to instructorship. It's sort of, if you will, an expansion. I don't even think it was an expansion of, but yeah, potentially an expansion of like the ATBA lesson plans. But I remember there being like this. That one thing that I just can still to this day never really agree on unless you're like 3 years old doing it, and that's grabbing both hands on the front rail when you're doing a power slide. Like whoever does that, like it's one hand, like your rear hand on the rail and the front hand behind you. I don't know. I always feel like I've tried it. I remember having like conversations with him, like, this ain't right. I can't teach people to potentially hurt themselves. You get some 20-stone bloke who don't commit to it enough, and they just go kadoosh straight face first down the hill.
Yeah, that's a highlight. That's a highlight of your day, though, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
When you've gone through instructing, well, you must have instructed like thousands. Like, with the school summer camps and the scout groups that used to go through.
Yeah,
Hart Hill. You like thousands, and like it does become like monotonous, doesn't it?
Definitely.
So the odd bail over the front, always nice. Keep me interested.
Definitely. I bet you guys did it as well, but I remember the most fun ones would be like if you get a stag do party come in, because they wouldn't, like, I wouldn't bother like teaching them. I'd just take them to like the top of the hill straight away. Like, right, off you go, fella, because that's what they want, isn't it? They just want to like go fast and hurt themselves, laugh at each other, or just take them straight to the start gates or something like that and see who can do it. But yeah, those ones are always a good laugh, a bit different.
For one season we done a thing with excluded pupils.
Yeah.
Like they're all little shits in their own schools. So they're all excluded, and they used to come and do their PE lessons there. Absolute fucking nightmare they were.
But
like herding cats.
That was interesting, yeah. Like criminal cats. Some of them are little fucking sods, man.
Yeah, I remember having a few groups like that. It seemed to be quite a popular activity with those sort of schools, didn't it? Or those sort of groups. But yeah, I definitely had a few of them. I think most of them were all right. I took the same approach as what I do with the stag do, is like take them to the top of the hill, and then they get a bit scared, and then they'd start listening to you then. Like, you know, if they thought they could do it, they'd be like, they just go off. But if you took them somewhere, they'd be like, shit, I need to listen to what this guy's got to say now. That seems to work a bit, so I don't. But yeah, it's good fun. You got also. I do kind of miss the instructing, to be fair. It was pretty good fun. And at that age as well, I was like 14 or something when I started doing it. And Mark would give me like a tenner per each lesson. And that was absolutely loads at that age. I think kids my age were probably earning like £3 on a paper round or something. I was getting a tenner for doing a mountainboard lesson. I was absolutely buzzing with that.
Yeah, that's pretty good going, isn't it?
That's right. And you're still getting to ride it all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So if you're going to college locally and study, did you say studying adventure sports?
Yeah. Adventure sports was the course. I'm pretty sure. It's like
damn right, that's the course. I wish that was an offer at college when I would have been around. You know.
It's good, correct. I think a lot of the Hart Hill kids went through the adventure sports course there as well. I think Robbie did one somewhere slightly different, and then I know Henry did it. I think Piers as well. Like loads of the kids there. It just seemed like the natural progression. Like if you're into mountainboard, you enjoyed it, you lived in the area, it was like, here's the course for you, and you just went and did a bit of like, again, it was like instructing, but you do like kayaking, climbing, those sort of activities. But yeah, it was pretty good. Can't complain with that one, I guess. But yeah, that was where I met Eamon really, and he was living at college and sort of new to the area. And you know, I was around there as well, so me and him would go up to Hart Hill and stuff on the weekend. So that's how he got to know all those lot, and how I got to know Eamon way more really. So did a lot of riding, and even during college as well. We were in Nantwich, and we'd sometimes just like cycle down to, you know, Crewe BMX track where they do the Rhythm Cross. Yeah. That was like 10 minutes down the road or something like that. So we popped down there and do a bit of riding, which is good.
Do you think? Oh, I almost went down. Hold up. Do you think you started to? I had a thought that might have was about to ruin the 10-set question. We're going to get on that in a little while.
Isn't it? He just leaves you start to 5 minutes and he confuses himself.
Did you start to favour like a particular sort of type of mountain boarding at the moment? Because I mean, please don't take me the wrong way, but obviously you're a super strong BX rider and that, you've got to be ahead of me. But I would say that you're more of a jib style rider, as opposed to, like some people are known for big air, some people are known for racing, some people are known for rails or whatever. But I would have you more down as a jib rider. Do you think that was influenced by Hart Hill and your time there? Because again, that I'm trying to think back to the timeline of the place and tie it into your age. And I'm assuming that like that ye olde jib would have been around at Hart Hill at the time, at this sort of time in your lifestyle.
Yeah, I think probably that has influenced my riding for sure. But I just like riding like flowy stuff. I'm not really like a super technical rider, or like I don't have like loads of big tricks or anything like that, but I'm more just like riding things smoothly and things that flow well. So that's always been what I like to ride. And at Hart Hill for a stage, there was like a rhythm section in the top left-hand corner. It was near where all the bike track stuff was.
Yeah.
And that was like my favorite thing to ride. It was just like 4 sort of tabletop jumps. You could just do little grabs and stuff. And I liked that kind of thing, really. And everyone was quite into the jib at one point. Like, I know Mark is really big on his jib, and Craig and Robbie and those sort of riders. And I definitely did ride it a bit and learn a bit of that, but I preferred the more sort of, flowy downhill tracks, smaller jumps. That was always like my sort of thing. And I think that sort of reflects in the things that I like to ride now. It's sort of the same kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, you've definitely got a flow level to your style. That's for sure. That is
frozen a bit on mine.
Oh, you're still talking. You've got a good look on your face at the moment on the frozen screen, so you're all right.
It's almost like his face in because his part in the dark side of riding with a champion, right? Look at that face now. We're talking about it when we come back, because it's amazing. I watch it all the time. He's back. You back?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm back. Yeah.
Cool, man. We were just talking about my favourite part of yours in anything ever. Where the dark side of riding with a champion. Just your face in it is amazing. I watch it all the time, and like, just that Mark Hale, brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we were just like, right, let's just team up on this. Neither of us know what we're going to say, and I just let Mark just take the lead. And I don't know, everyone seemed to really enjoy it. I didn't really know what I was doing in that one.
You trying to keep that straight face throughout the whole thing, amazing.
Yeah, sorry, that came up obviously because of your frozen screen there. But for those audio listeners, this joke doesn't work. They've kind of just randomly wondered why we've jumped completely off the timeline into the dark side of a champion, the Matt Brint true biopic,
or as I like to call it, the ego has landed.
It's funny, that video actually as well, like jumping forward quite a way, but pretty funny when it's just relevant to this. That video is obviously pretty funny for like a British audience, isn't it? Like, it was pretty humorous.
Yeah,
everyone that knows Matt, but we actually like premiered it at the like World Mountainboard Championships in Slovenia, and obviously it's big multinational crowd, and there's pretty much zero riding in the video, and it's all just like really subtle, like sort of British humor, and like although it's brilliant, it just didn't really, there was very few people there that had enough of a grasp of English to be able to see the funny side of that, so it just
you just bomb.
Awkward as fuck.
Yeah. Oh, I wish I'd been there to see.
Oh, brilliant.
So yeah, that was good.
So like, you've got him all excited. He's jizzed on himself now.
Bloody hell, Sloggs.
Well, I missed my mouth there.
Oh my day. Anyhow, back to your. I'm just looking at the time. Oh, yeah. Back to your timeline then of college and that. Did you then go on to university? I'm just thinking, because have you taken any time out of mountain boarding, and did that coincide with your university time or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I was always a pretty lazy rider anyway, to be honest. I was never really I was riding all, if I'm wasn't was never riding all the time. I'd a lot of the times I just go to the Mountainboard weekends or go to Hart Hill and just hang around. So saying that I had time off from mountain boarding, I was always having time off, constantly. So so there was definitely a lot of time over my like teenage years, probably up until I started like riding with Emlyn and that again, that I just didn't really do that much riding. And even then I wasn't super always hyped on it. But yeah, I did go to university after that. So I think that sort of put a bit more of a stop on it. Like I didn't really ride that much when I was living in Liverpool, and then I'd still go to the ATBA comps in the summer. Like if I was around, I'd go to them and I'd probably ride at the comp. But it'd be one of them really scary experiences where you've not ridden all year and then you've got to suddenly jump in the border cross gates, and it'd always be a bit. But it was always good fun. Like once you get to the bottom, it's the best feeling ever, isn't it? Racing and getting back into it. So I still had that like enjoyment out of it, and so many like friends from Hart, like so close with so many people there from over the years, that I'd still go back up and ride like in the summer, and sort of go riding with them. So I think it was, I don't think I rode much for those few years. I'd occasionally, if I'd be back for summer, we'd have some good evening sessions, like up on the slope style. I'd ride with like Jack Dudley and Stu Wong. Well, not his real surname, obviously, but that's how everyone knows him in the mountain board scene.
Indeed.
And Carly and Ian and all those
Wong, the glorious.
So, yeah, for sure. So I never really had like a full-on like break from it. I've definitely always been in and around the mountain board scene, but not always the most prominent. I'm probably more involved now than I ever have been, really, I'd say.
Certainly putting the content out there, that's for sure. But might as well jump into a quick community question there, because you talk about, or we've talked a little about the local riders, and we have had a local rider sent a message in, and I shall quickly find that here now, and that is from Pierce Sutton.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And he says, yo, my questions for Big Willie are, over all of the years spent at the park, do you have one core memory / highlight? And there is another question, but we'll do it one at a time.
Yeah, good question. Yeah, I think I sort of referenced it before. I think like there's been so many good times up there, just like, but I spent so much time there that the good times would just blend into other good times. So there'd be all sorts happening. That was good fun. Winning my first border cross comp, that was a really big one, even though I broke my thumb. But I remember I won the juniors. I was really stoked on that. Robbie Kinsey won the Open, or whatever it was called then, maybe whatever the seniors is now. And Paul Butler as well, who was like someone that I idolized a bit growing up because he was in the Scuzz mags and stuff like that. And he won the Masters that year as well. So there's a picture of like me and him and Robbie, and we're all like holding one finger up for like number one like that. And it's a bit cringy, but I remember that being a really good day. Like I was so stoked to have won that, and like happy to do that with some of the people that I'd been riding with as well. So I remember that being like a really good day. Although I ended it in hospital in Chester, but no, it was pretty good. So
can you remember who you was up against in your race and that particular win?
I can't remember. I remember Ben Wanklin was involved. He was pretty speedy back then, but he was definitely a bit smaller back then, so I definitely had the advantage on size. But I can't remember who else was in the juniors at that point. But I'd have to dig out a picture and show you. But yeah, no, it's good fun. But yeah, I remember that being a good highlight of my time there. But yeah, there's definitely so many other just great days up there.
Is second question also in capital letters he's put here.
Okay.
When will we see the return of the Will Fox Roller Challenge? So please divulge to us the Will Fox roll. I can't even say it quickly. Will Fox Roller Challenge.
It's a good question, because I'd completely forgotten about this, and this was good fun. So it was, I think it came about when we were doing like the kids teaching summer camps and stuff like that, and obviously Piers would have been either on the camp or would have been like helping out as a pad boy. So I'm glad that he remembers this. But so if you remember at the bottom of the baby boarder cross, there was 5 rollers originally, and then it got changed to 4 small rollers at the bottom of the junior boarder cross next to the lift track. So you basically have to do them in like regular, and then you do them in switch, and then you do it like with your bindings undone, and you do it like with your eyes closed, and then it would just build up and up. So it was like you had to do each one before you progress to the next one. And then by the time you got to the end, it was like you'd finish doing the rollers in switch with your bindings undone, with your eyes closed, you know, all of this. You had to get through that set of rollers. And you just do it like slow, and all the kids could get involved because it didn't really hurt that much to fall off there. You know, you expect them to fall like with your eyes shut or whatever. So that was the Will Fox roller challenge. So we do that with the kids there, and it was a good laugh. To be fair, it's good fun.
We had a set of 4 or 5 rollers to one side of the beginner area at XBP. And that was always like sort of one of the natural progression parts of the lesson was doing the rollers, because as a beginner it just, if you'd no board and experience where to position your body weight as you're going over them. And like you say, God, I'd like to do the Will Fox roller challenge. I mean, maybe has Bugs got a series of rollers? I don't think it has. It's got the little mini BX, but it's not got like just a straight line of 4 or 5 rollers.
No, yeah.
Maybe we could persuade him at a dig day that they need a series of 5 rollers.
Will Fox's roller challenge.
Yeah, because if they put it down at the bottom near where the lift line is, you know, you could come into it with a hell up a pace, couldn't you? Yeah. Or you could you know, pootle down and then it just provide a little return to the lift line or to the lift stop at the bottom.
There you go.
Bugs. We'll get it in this summer if we can get them in before the champs or before one of the events.
Well, it could be a new discipline in the UK champs.
Yeah,
I think that would be good. You can add so much more to it as well. Like, I remember doing it like switch, your eyes closed, bindings and done. Like, it was challenging, but you could certainly make it even harder as well. You know, you could have it so you're not even allowed to have your feet in the bindings. They just have to be like anywhere else on the deck, or you could be having a beer whilst you're doing it or something like that.
Egg and spoon.
Really go anywhere with this roller challenge. Sky's the limit.
Oh, there you go. I've got the perfect place for the Will Fox roller challenge when the rollers go in Mountfest.
Yes, yeah,
that is exactly the sort of thing that whilst you're getting paint chalk being thrown at you and Nerf guns being fired at you as well at the same time, it'd be absolutely fantastic.
Can we wave balls of fire around while we're doing it down the road?
Yes. That's a given. Nerf balls with the little screaming whistles on.
Yeah, I'm sort of picturing this like Gauntlet style. So like, you know, someone's taking on the challenge, floodlights on them, everyone's just throwing stuff. Yeah, I think that could be good.
But there was
like proper old school mountain boarding, that like some proper carnage, some serious pain, some fire.
Yeah, taking it back, baby. 2006, yo.
Nice.
Oh, crikey. I'm at a loss of what I was going to say here, question-wise. So I'm going to run straight in with something that has just come in. We've got 2 things from Matt Brind here, right? Okay. Now, one of them he sent me the other day, and I can't remember what it was. And then tonight, since we've been recording, hence why if you watch a notification, you've been looking down, he's sent me another message. But obviously I haven't had a chance to hear it. So it could be anything.
Absolute filth. It could be a private message to you, Dan.
Yeah, or
not necessarily for Will.
No, it could be it could be a question. It's a deep dive into role play novels, I think.
Late question for William, and another additional late question for you, William. Do you think you'll ever learn to do a nose grab?
Never recorded it in the bathroom.
It's not for the roll situation, it's for the dirt.
Oh, play that again, Dan.
I assume that was set up, but on the off
Late
chance it
question
wasn't, that is
for William.
fantastic.
And another additional late question for you, William. Do you think you'll ever learn to do a nose grab?
Never recorded it in the bathroom.
It's not for the roll situation, it's for the dirt. Yeah, awkward.
Very good, guys. Very good.
Yeah, maybe not so. I don't know. Lee's acting was pretty convincing there. So
I have very high suspicions that is not set up. I've had numerous conversations with Matt or little voice messages, and Lee will quite often pop up in the background and correct him or tell him no, that's not the case. And yeah, there have been some crackers over the years. I can't remember the last one that was. But
what was the question anyway?
yeah, I've forgotten already. We have to.
I can't remember what the question was.
He asked what? Oh yeah, am I ever going to learn to do a nose grab? Yeah, I can do a nose grab, but I just choose not to. It's not what people want to see my trademark tail grab. I just like to give the people what they want. That's pretty much all there is to it. No, I don't know. It just doesn't feel nice, the nose grab. I don't know what you guys think to the nose grab. Tail grab's just like
Save it for the roller challenge.
Set it as a challenge, yeah.
off the final roller, nose grab, final roller.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think when if you get a nose grab, they feel really nice, tweaked up. If you can like proper straighten your rear leg and get because you can get quite a lot of leverage and literally pull it on if you get the full hand over the truck.
Yeah,
they're cool, man.
Yeah, I've never really got into them. Maybe I need to experiment more. I do want to spin now and then. Like if I'm trying to hook something where I need a bit more spin, like a 5 or something, I'll try and grab the nose grab. But I don't know. Yeah, never really been my go-to. But yeah, maybe I'll try and do some more for Matt Brind as he's especially requested it.
Should we give him his other question as well whilst we're here? Again, I can't remember what this one is. Hold up.
Sloggs. All right. Hey, my friends. I hope you're well. And these questions I am about to pose to you find you in good spirits and high health. So straight in with it. Let's go. Question number 1. If you were on a road trip, let's say mountainboard road trip, why not? Would your breakfast of choice be pain au chocolat or chocolate chip brioche? Pain au chocolat or chocolate chip brioche? Secondly, addressing the elephant in the room, the roll situation. Seeing as I haven't listened to the dirt since the epoch of the roll situation, frankly, and being honest, I'd like to know your thoughts on the newish toilet roll subscription. So, keeping the roll situation on a subscription basis. Things like who gives a crap versus the standard buy from the shop. Cheers. See you sometime soon, I hope. Thanks.
Okay. Cool. Right. So 2 questions there from Matt Brind.
Fuck the questions. He stopped listening to the dirt. Listen only to the roll situation. I mean,
yeah, he's quite a one-dimensional character, isn't he, Matt Brind? He's got a one-track mind. He can't really hold one thing on at the same time.
Dan, saying that, he must be following you on Instagram to know that Will was on tonight.
No, this is true. But
you guys have always been beefing him, to be fair, on this podcast.
No, Will. We did 30 episodes of beefing him every episode, and then for 20 episodes long now, we haven't done anything. I'm disappointed at best.
We'll have to interrogate him at some point. But what did he ask? Pan of chocolates. Yeah. Definitely. He knows that I would definitely pick a pan of chocolate and on a road trip. I've been on a few road trips now with Matt Brind and Emlyn, Eamon, etc. So he knows that I'm a pan of chocolate man on these trips. But the best thing to get. Yeah,
Yeah,
the brioche's not so good, is it? I don't know.
especially if you're in someone else's car, because a pan of chocolate's going to go crumbly everywhere, all over their seats.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, it's
But the brioche is just like it's like a cake, isn't it? It's all like nice and clean.
true. You are right. Yeah, you're thinking of very practically here, Slog. So I'm thinking more of just what tastes good.
The pure indulgence. I actually Matt sent that through the other day at a time that I was texting Sloggs, and I actually put that question to him, and I can't remember what your answer was now.
I don't know.
Was that what it is? Oh, I don't know.
No, I can't remember what I said. I feel like
what would you say?
well, if I was in my own car and it was a road trip, I'd probably go brioche. But if I was in someone else's car, I'd have the pan of chocolate because even I prefer it to taste and it get messy.
A pano chocolate.
Pano chocolate.
Pano chocolate.
It's French for like some chocolate baked thing.
Yeah, certainly is.
It's pretty much bilingual, don't you know?
Yeah, English and slogs.
Yeah, we sometimes when we've been to LA obviously a few times over the last few years, and if we bring like the English ones with us, like they're pretty offended by that. It seems.
What,
like,
the French are offended?
Yeah, because we bring like the English packet ones, you know, where it's like individually wrapped.
Yeah,
the one like 8 from Lidl's for £1.
Yeah, that's absolute sacrilege to them, though, isn't it? They get it like baked fresh every morning, and they
You might
obviously
as well-
are well better, so they're pissed
You
off.
might as well just piss in their wine. They'll be that appreciative of it.
Yeah, exactly.
So before we go on to his second question, whilst we're here, then give me your favourite Matt Brind road trip moment.
I can definitely straight away. I know exactly what I'm going to say about this, and I think I'll have to get the video out for you guys at some point. It should just make it so much better. But I think Matt briefly referenced it when he was on the pod because I asked him about what his favorite party was or something like that. And Matt Brind so we went on a road trip to, I think this was like 2019, like pre-COVID. We went to like the border cross and freestyle championships. And when Matt was with us, we were like, Matt, we're just rebranding him as the new Matt Brind on this trip for some reason. I can't remember why it happened, like trying to make him drink. And he came 13th in the border cross. And there was all this, we're trying to make out that he was like washed up and like he was an alcoholic now. Anyway, that's barely relevant to the story, but I just thought you'd like to know. But we were getting on the drinks anyway, and Matt was enjoying it as well. And they always proper look after us out there and like get us local drinks. So you can't say no when someone's like that, you know, even though Matt would usually not be that up for it. But yeah, it's all free wine and everything with these guys. This was in Arzano, so the other centre that used to be sort of near LA. And this like local dancing started happening, and Matt got somehow pulled into it off the bench. And he just looked like I've never seen him look so out of his depth in his life. Like he's just getting swung around by this woman doing this traditional dancing sort of clapping. And, oh god, it's absolutely amazing. So yeah, I think he knows that. There is, yeah. There's some footage. I'll send it to you.
Yes.
I've got a brilliant clip of it. You just see him like he just looks back at me. He knows I'm filming, and you can just
the fear in his eyes.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's certainly probably my favourite Matt Brind. That's the first one that comes to mind. Anyway, I think that's what he'd be expecting me to say.
I'm just looking at the time now, because we have got to bring your co-host in at some point soon. I'm just wondering, is there much that we're skipping over here? Where are on your timeline? Sort of you was at university as such, that age group, and you're dipping in and out of riding. So
yeah, I think there was one bit that I was thinking that I would cover a little bit is what I'd sort of referenced a few minutes ago, but is one of the things where I got way back into mountainboarding again was starting going abroad on trips.
Yeah,
because before that I'd been doing a bit of mountainboarding in the UK and yeah, not so much, but it was basically Emlyn was going to Slovenia for the Worlds. I think Trampo were like going to send him there to go film like an edit for it. So he was going to go anyway and drive out. So he's like, "Do you want to come?" And I was obviously up for this. I was like, "Yeah, why not? I'd love to go a trip." I'd actually been traveling with Eamon like once before, and I was like, "This would be good fun to like go on a bit of a trip together and stuff." And then Emlyn was coming as well, so that was really fun. And like I knew Emlyn from before, but I didn't know him as well as I do now, and I got to know him more through like going on this trip. So that first one was just the three of us, me and Emlyn, Eamon, and we just completely winged the whole thing. We went in Eamon's Volkswagen Golf that he used to have. And then just drove. All we bought was like the ferry ticket, and then we were driving and just sort of heading. We just put Slovenia like in the sat nav. It wasn't like you know where we're going. It's just got there. I think this was from like 2018, and but yeah, on the way it just worked out so well. Like we saw Emlyn saw this church, and he was like, "That looks like the church that's near Wani Park." And then it wasn't, but we Googled where Wani Park was. And it was only like 2 hours from where we actually were driving at that time. So we were like, right, let's go to Wani Park. So we messaged anyone that we could think of from there. And they were like, yeah, come down. So we went and stayed at Wani and like had a bit of a session there. I think one of the clips that you put on the Instagram for me coming is us riding at Wani. So we did that. And then the next day we like set off again. I think we went to like towards Italy and we went to like Lake Como and stuff. Not much mountainboarding there, but still cool to go. And then the other chance happening was we went on Instagram, and I think it was either Nikki Gersey or like Joel Beltzer. Do you remember Joel Beltzer, who's involved with like Hero?
Yeah.
And they were at a skate park and it looked really good. There was like a big airbag jump, and we were like, right, where's this? Well, we'll just go there then. And it turned out it was in Switzerland. So we were like, right, cool, we'll go to Switzerland. So the whole thing was just completely impulsive decision making on this road trip. But we went to Skills Park in Switzerland where they got still the best jump that I think I've ever ridden. It's like a landing in a duvet, but you can ride out of it, and it's just massive. And yeah, and we just had sessions there, and I can't remember where else we went. And then I think we eventually made our way to Slovenia and went for the competition there, rode there, and then we did pretty much the same on the way back. Went back to Skills Park, lost Eamon's car keys for a bit, found them again, carried on. But yeah, I think since then that got me way back more into mountain boarding. Like having that in the summer, like I look forward to going on a trip, and we have most years now. Like done a road trip of sorts each summer, and it's just like so fun. It's just the funnest thing, just going away, and mountain boarding abroad is good and different spots. And I think also when you're on holiday in general, you lack a bit of like purpose unless you're like one of those motivated tourists where you're like, oh, I want to go see this, I want to go see that. But when you're like abroad to go mountain boarding, you've got like quite a good purpose to your trip. But you can also see all the like sights and stuff as well. So it's just like a sick way to travel. And obviously the mountain board people you meet are always pretty welcoming, and will have you come and stay with them and stuff. So getting into those trips really was what has got me even more so into mountain boarding than I was in my teenage years and stuff, I think, really. But yes, it's been some good ones.
I'm certainly buzzing for this year's road trip. I think this will be my first sort of international mountain board trip. Despite having been and competed on the continent, I was living over there at the time. So, it was obviously a little bit different, and I'm chomping at the bit for the road trip. I think obviously our route's going to be a little bit different.
Or is it given it's frozen?
Oh, it's frozen again. back to Dark Side of the Champion. Back again.
My Wi-Fi here because you guys are still in there. Well, you said you're chomping at the bit is the last thing.
Completely to get out on the road trip for this summer's trip to France, and I'm really hoping that sort of other people will be making the trip at the same sort of time as us. I don't know what time people are getting on the ferries or anything like that. But to try and make it a big sort of convoy for at least parts of it, would be a wicked thing.
Definitely. You'll absolutely love it out there. I think the French mountain board scene's got like quite a good bit of a following as well, and it's nice like seeing a different crowd, and you'll absolutely love LA park. Like it's just so good. Everything works well. They're so welcoming there as well. Like everyone that's there, like Mel and like Margot and everyone just looks after us like so well and makes us food. And the place is just incredible to ride. It's pretty much like a little mountain board paradise. Like it's nice and warm, good food. They got draft beer. And like
Nice.
it's so good.
I assume
Got a good little scene going with a lot of groms coming up through as well. Like across most of the parks in France, you see that, which is really good to see, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, they seem to really be sort of pushing it. And I know Male's always got loads of groups in, and the kids seem pretty motivated. Like they seem to be getting good, which is like it's nice to see because it's something we struggled with as a community, isn't it? Like getting younger riders in recently.
Yeah, getting the fresh blood in.
That's right. But yeah, are you going to make?
I'm assuming you're coming to the Worlds this summer. Going to the Worlds.
Yeah, I probably will be. Yeah, I've not really planned it out yet. I know Matt's been talking about it in quite some depth with exact timings and dates and when the competitions are and stuff like that. But I'm not giving it too much thought. Yeah, I just usually wait for someone to do the organising, and then I just jump in.
Yeah, has he got involved in spreadsheets and things like that for it?
Oh, Mr. Excel, he is a fucking spreadsheet.
I'm sure there is a spreadsheet somewhere. I've not seen it yet, but there will be one. Yeah, can't remember what I was going. But yeah, you gonna make the trip, Sloggs? Are you gonna try and get over?
Yeah, we're going. Lucky enough for Dan, we're all going together.
Oh, sick, nice.
Yeah,
so we got a trip. It's quite far advanced our planning actually.
Yeah, we've gone full Matt Brind with it.
Oh, yeah, we've got Claire.
Yeah,
she's our Matt Brind.
Yeah, nice.
She shepherds us.
Yeah, someone's got to do it, haven't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be sick. Yeah, I'm sure you'll enjoy it out there. And like, is it the Worlds is Compiègne as well, isn't it? So that's good fun. It's Compiègne's a bit more like there's less like infrastructure. I don't know if that's really the word. Like there's not like LA, they've got all the bar and everything. Compiègne's a little bit more old school mountain boarding, but it's such a good place to ride. Like the border cross track there is so fun. Like it's kind of like out to grass-esque, with like the solid finish like that, and
nice.
It works pretty well. So it looks super intimidating when you get there. It's got like a brick rolling, have you seen the pictures of it, like the clips? I think Dylan Warren put like a track lap, but yeah, it's like a brick drop in and then wood, and then it's really fast, but it's pretty doable. You'll be fine.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's good. Amazing.
I suppose looking at the time, it's probably about time we tackled the supposed, from other sources, elephant in the room, and maybe look to get in Emlyn to join us at some point. Do you think? Yeah,
I'd love to bring my compadre from the Royal situation in. Give him a message, back up, a bit of support. We can start the beef now between the I think everyone thought that would be the case, and that we hadn't even really considered it. Yeah. And then Emlyn was like, best message the guys first and just check they're all right with this. We're both having a podcast as well, but no, you guys. To be fair,
it's the only Mountainboard podcast I listen to.
Yeah. Ditto. I'm in. So that's me, Sloggett, and Matt Brind. We'll only listen to the role situation.
Yeah.
You never listen. Do you listen back to your own podcasts ever?
Yeah, I have to edit it, but outside of that, not at the moment. But that was never the aim in its original sort of thing, like its original thought. It was never really the aim for me to make it and then listen to it and watch myself back, except for maybe in, say, I live another 30 years time, and if YouTube is still going, then this will hopefully be that memory job that I might well need if I'm, if I've had too few many concussions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Possible.
I've listened to a few back because I'll come off the podcast and I'll say to Claire, "Oh, really enjoyed this one. This one's really good." And then when it comes out, we'll sit down and we'll watch it so she can watch it. But that's not all of them, but just a few choice ones.
Yeah, it's kind of weird listening to yourself, isn't it? I think I've got a bit more used to it now. And like for my job as well, I host like webinars and stuff. So like I got a bit more used to listening to my own voice now, but I do listen back to each podcast we do just to like check we're not rambling on or we don't say anything that could be, it's going to be too bad. But I don't really listen to my own podcast for like my enjoyment. It's more of a analytical, but I didn't know if I was intrigued to know if you guys do the same or not.
No, I at the start I was trying to listen to it more analytically, and I started to think, do I say a lot, or those sorts of things. But you just end up winding yourself up.
Yeah. Well, I think you say a lot.
Yeah, definitely. When I get all tongue tied and I can't get my words out, I start like sounding like one of those tubes, those cow tubes that you turn upside down.
I don't know what kind of tube you mean, but it sounds funny.
Do you not have those as kids? They're just like a tube, and generally they had like a picture of cows on.
You're nearly 50, mate.
Well, it was non-electrical. You didn't need to plug it in or anything. And for hours, you could just turn this tube upside down and it'd make that sound. And you turn it up the other way. I'm not doing it just.
Had a ball in it or something, surely?
Yeah, must have been. Must have been. It was apparently what a cow sounded like, but it sounded nothing like a fucking cow.
Surely it had a cow in it.
Not a real one.
No. Just a miniature one, bred just to make that noise. I don't know where Emlyn did send us a message saying ready to join whenever, just to let you know at quarter to 9.
Oh right, okay.
We're now quarter past, and
he's leaving you hanging, man.
Yeah, now he's leaving us hanging.
Do you want me to ring him?
Anyway.
I'll ring him on speakerphone as well.
Well, I don't want to do. I'd obviously like to talk about how you guys started, how it came to be, and I don't want to necessarily miss his input. I mean, I've got beef with the guy after this episode that I brought up in the text messages earlier on, but not beef. I'm just a little bit disgusted, really.
Disgusted or disappointed?
No, not disappointed, because I can't take away from the ingenuity and is trying to save time and things like that, but just the manner at which.
I'm not sure which bit you're referring to. I'm just scrolling up in the group chat.
He send me the link. He says, scroll up, Emlyn.
It's quite a scroll. Hold on, I'm on my laptop. I'll try and do it for him now.
He was talking about cutting down the time. The time-saving thing he likes to do is that he will brush his teeth whilst he's having a poo, and I can't get my head around that.
I guess it depends where he washes the brush off. That'd be the issue, wouldn't it? Really.
Well, exactly.
He gives a swill up between his legs.
Yeah. Or is he? But so what? So if he stops brushing his teeth to wipe, he then, because I brush my teeth with my right hand and I wipe with my right hand. Yeah, I wipe with my right hand as well, and I wouldn't want to then sort of wipe and then you carry on brushing, or do you then stop and wash your hands?
Is he using a toothbrush or is he using the toilet brush because it's just down by the side of him?
Yeah, just a great big toilet brush.
We'll have to ask him when he gets in. I think, I'd never really thought about it. I just thought, that is sensible. That's a good use of time. But I feel like I've been to Emlyn's house. I feel like the sink is quite close to the toilet, maybe. So maybe you could do the teeth maybe you do your business, you brush, spit, and then come back for the wipe. That's probably how I'd go for it. A bit more of a hands-free technique.
Hello.
Hello.
We're just talking about you.
Good evening.
Hello. Thanks for having me on.
Welcome to the room, Emlyn.
Yeah, nice to be here. I think I caught you talking about wiping there.
Yeah.
Not wiping specifically.
Yeah.
All right.
This ingenious time-saving device or time-saving procedure of brushing your teeth whilst on the toilet.
Yeah, I don't do it much.
Do you ever do it in the shower? Because I
Shit
go
in the
through
shower?
No. No, brush your teeth in the shower.
No, not really. I've drunk beers in the shower a few times. That's a good time-saving mechanism when you're going out. But I'll try cleaning my teeth in the shower. I just think I'll probably dribble all over myself.
Wash it off again straight away.
Yeah, true.
There's warm water though in the shower. I wouldn't want to like rinse with warm water and then it's got to be cold water to brush for me.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. How's your elbow, mate?
Yeah, I've got a bit of movement back. It's not very strong though. It's like my muscles have just gone, basically. Not that I had much in there, but yeah. But it's improving every day. So I don't want to push it.
Have you got a bit of a swell bow going on?
Not really now. It was like I've definitely had much bigger swell bows. It was just like the whole arm was generally a bit swollen. My fingers were a bit swollen at first, but it's gone down. Yeah, it's weird. I can't really feel it. It's more like hurts. It's more my wrist that hurts at the moment. Like what's that bit? Forearm. Yeah, I was trying to think what the muscle was called. I was going to say tricep, but that's in here, isn't it?
See the back there.
Yeah, the back. Yeah. Anyway, not very good with anatomy, but yeah, just getting bored really, not being able to mountain board and I'm not able to do that much at work in the wood workshop, but oh well.
Oh no. Are they finding you other jobs?
Yeah, I'm on light duties, doing boring admin.
Cups of tea.
Yeah, no, I claim that I can't do that. Oh, I can't lift the kettle.
I can't operate a kettle left-handed. But yeah, thank you for joining us. We've sort of as you're familiar with the proceedings on the dirt, this is your third time on it now.
Yeah, veteran.
Yeah, third proper.
I mean, you're practically a co-host, really, aren't you?
Yeah.
You trying to steal another presenter?
But yeah, thank you for coming on.
If you're up for doing something as well, we're just sort of do our own thing.
Podcast.
It's like wife swap.
We should maybe do that.
That would be good. That's why we started the role situation though, because we really wanted to work at the Dirt podcast, but we heard you needed quite a lot of experience. We thought we'd build up our experience and yeah. Try and take it up. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the row situation. Let's talk about like sort of the offing, how it came about.
Yeah.
Okay. Will you start off with the very first mention of it, because it came into your head first, didn't it?
Sort of, but I was thinking about this earlier on about how it's already was in our heads.
Yeah.
Because we used to joke about when we were on a previous road trip. Emlyn used to be quite interested in number plates of cars from different countries. Sounds extremely dull, but we used to joke that he could make a really like a Radio 4 podcast where he talked about number plates from different countries. So it was all a joke, but I think that maybe put the podcast seed in our heads a little bit. And then
Platecast.
Yeah, that was it. Platecast. Yeah. it was going to be thrilling, quite the emotional thrill ride. So I feel like that put the podcast seed in our heads, obviously, as well as you guys actually having a podcast. It was the road was paved, but yeah, the inception of it was actually me being on the toilet at LA Mountainboard Park, and I don't really know how it came into my head, but I know. Here we go. Yeah, it's on previous trips as well. I'd always ask Emlyn what the roll situation was in any given toilet, because we obviously, when you're on the road, you got to find toilets wherever you can, good or bad. And Emlyn is quite a prolific pooer, shall we say. It's not like you got a problem, but it's, he just likes going in. So I'd always sort of ask him what the roll situation is before I go in. I don't want to waste my time in a toilet if there's no roll. So that was where the term came about, but the podcast was a bit later down the line.
Yeah. So it was when we were in LA. They've got a beautiful pair of compost flues there. So
for the sawdust on the top ones.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they work well.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
But so I think we had just got there, and you had already asked me what the roll situation was. So you probably went and then sat in the loo, and that's when it came into your head, like a porcelain ponder.
Porcelain ponder.
Yeah. I just sort of dawned on me that roll situation could also be the name of a Mountainboard news show without having any toilet roll references at all. Just like, what's the roll situation? It could be anything that rolls. But and then when I came out of the toilet, Emlyn was luckily pretty close by, and I was like, have a listen to this idea. It'd be funny for a Mountainboard podcast. And then it really just snowballed from there. We were sort of joking about it over the weekend with their riding, and then it really got moving, got some legs under it on the ferry on the way back, didn't it?
Yeah, because we started thinking of all these different sections. Because of the roll situation, we knew that was just going to be the basic premise was to share kind of fortnightly news. But then we were like, we just kept thinking of plays on words with poo. And there were loads of people helping us out. Like Jeff Bond was really active in this discussion. Sarah and Mark, Eamon and Ayla. Actually, Ayla put her headphones in and just looked at us as if we were very immature.
Yeah, Ash Hollings was pretty on it as well. I think Angus McDonald was involved as well. There's loads of us on there. It was all for Eamon's birthday trip. But I remember Jeff Bond was a particular advocate of all of these innuendos, wasn't he? He was well on it.
Yeah, I loved it.
There's just something funny about poo and pooing.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've always had that kind of humour. I love it when people are really prim and coy about that kind of thing, and you just like try and gross them out.
Yeah, just be really base.
Yeah.
Given the fact that there's essentially, as mountain boarding's quite niche, isn't it? Yeah, everybody in the world poos. It surprises me that you're the only podcast that I know of.
I've not actually checked to see if there's any others there could be.
Well, there could well be. I wonder if there are.
Dan's checked.
There must be.
Armitage Shanks have their own weekly podcast on new and upcoming news.
They endorse us.
Yeah.
We endorse them. They sponsor us.
They're paying us loads of money at the moment.
That's right. Royal Dalton. Was there a bidding war between Royal Dalton and Armitage Shanks for you?
We always sort of knew that we wanted to work with Armitage Shanks, really. Ever since the idea of the podcast, it was always, they were the ones we wanted on board. The big name.
Yeah, only the best.
Yeah. Ride the best.
Yeah.
I got to say, when you guys, it was very respectful and cute and nice when Emlyn sent us through a message after you guys had got back from France, mentioning that you guys were thinking about doing a podcast. How did we feel about it? And sort of, I think you listed off a load of the ideas,
And then
the moment you did that, it was just like, yeah, this needs to happen.
after Dan destroyed the dirt set behind him, and I had to like go down there and give him a cut.
Throw everything off the side.
Put it all back together and just calm him down. He thought it was a great idea.
That's true. I smashed up and burnt 3 Generation 1 Razor decks that night.
Oh, well, that's shit anyway. Yeah.
The idea is a Dutch oven was what was it? Keep going back to Dark Side of a Champion. I wouldn't say the Dark Side of Nicky Gers, but I forget what it was. Undercover with Nicky Gers, the Dutch oven.
Yeah. I wonder if he's listened to it yet. Like, I don't know if he has.
Oh, I hope so. Nicky, if you are, we got to get you back in, buddy. We need to hear from you on a solo.
Sure. We'll bring that back on it.
Which podcast are you inviting him on then, Dan?
Both.
Yeah, so
that works for you guys, does it?
Yeah, it works. He's welcome. It's good to hear from the guy himself. Or is he just having a prolapse?
Oh. So yeah, you guys are now, what is it, episode 6 dropped today, was it?
5. Yesterday, yeah.
Episode 5.
Sunday. Yeah, yesterday. Thanks.
Yeah, it was the New Year's revolutions, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a big one. It was absolute carnage recording it, to be honest. I think it's the most editing that Emlyn's had to do on a podcast, like, because we just couldn't find the messages for starters. We had to film it over 2 days as well.
Yeah, because I missed a load of messages. For some reason they didn't show up on my phone, but they showed up on the computer. So yeah, we had to go back on and record our reactions to them. It's fun. Good to get like all that engagement and just almost like being able to get the scene in one place without actually having to travel to a skate park or something. Even though we weren't all there at the same time, that would be absolute carnage on Zoom.
When you have your guests in, do you do them? Are they like part of the live chat, or do you insert a separate chat into what you got your weekly episode?
Yeah, it's live. We generally tend to. We haven't paid for Zoom yet, so we tend to do like first 40 minutes with us, and then the Zoom will end, and then we'll be like, right, we're getting the guest in now, and we just bring them in cold. Usually, they don't have any. We don't give them any explanation or warm up.
Just throw them in the deep end.
Yeah, we're not as kind as you guys.
Yeah, I think originally we wanted to just call people up out of the blue, didn't we? We had some sort of prank call episode. We were just going to bell people up and do it, but we thought that might lead to more problems. So this was the trade-off. Like, we give them no preparation. Just
well, I personally think you guys have made an absolutely cracking product for us mountain boarders, and probably is a little bit more accessible to the outside world than the dirt, because like I say, everybody's got to do it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But it's like, pooing's so universal, but when you couple that with mountain boarding, and especially on our one, I think we're just talking about stuff as if like everyone knows what we're talking about, but if someone who didn't mountain board listened to it, they'd be like, what the fuck are they, who are these people and what are they saying?
Well, I think that can be said about most podcasts, because most podcasts are like some dudes doing it because it's their hobby and they really like it, with their own fucking weird sense of humor as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Right. Yeah. I think we talked about it as well. Not that we've got that far, but like, because roll is quite non-specific to mountain boarding, isn't it? It could, the podcast could potentially have some people that skate on it or like bike or anything like that. So we did say that maybe in the future it could be a bit more widespread, but for now it's very much within our niche that we all know and love.
Yeah, I think that would be good. We'd probably have to just like kind of commit to it a little bit more, and then we could get some like you say, like rollerbladers skaters, or it could just be a general extreme sports podcast. That might already exist, but I don't really listen to podcasts other than the Dirt, to be honest. So
Oh, you're a charm, you are, aren't you? Silver tongued.
Not like that.
Yeah, well, one episode of the Dirt is enough to put me off podcasts for the rest of the week.
That's fucking brilliant.
So, excuse me there. I assume then that you boys are very much enjoying what you're doing. It certainly seems to be well received amongst the UK community. I mean, we talked a little bit earlier about the airing of The Dark Side of Champion, and it bit on international ears and eyes, not necessarily going down as well as it did with the UK community, because maybe the sense of humour, the language, the inside jokes, that sort of thing. But you guys sort of managing to pick up. We hear a few French faces, or hear a few French voices on the introductions and stuff. I can hear Margot and who else have you got on there? May on there?
Yeah, Mayal does it. He says News Blast. And Antoine came on, and Ivan. They both did the what's it called, resolution. So yeah, nice to have the involvement from those, because I don't know if they will listen to it, but I know Margot says she has, and she said it's very funny, but she only gets about half of it.
I think the French have quite a good sense of humour as a general rule of thumb.
Yeah,
the things that they laugh at and they have a level of sarcasm to their sort of French psyche that the UK does as well. So there must be some shared comedic values in it for sure. But yeah, I mean, I think you definitely listen to over in the States. I think, aren't you? There's definitely a few people there that I've seen talking. I'm pretty sure Benton was talking about you, or who do we have in Benton or Brandon was listening to you guys. So you're making it around. That's for sure.
Cool.
That's cool to know. Yeah. So it's all started in a toilet cubicle, and now it's going overseas.
Yeah. We'll have to think of a USA section. That would be funny.
Yeah, we'll come up with something.
Yeah. What do they call the toilet in there? The John?
Do they? John.
What's their flag? Don't they call it the Spangled Stars and Stripes? It could be the
Spangled Banner.
Yeah. White.
Stars and Stripes.
The Stars and Wipes, maybe. They're quite patriotic. Pretty patriotic over there, aren't they, the Americans? I feel like if you disrespect the flag, they might get a bit pissed off. We don't want to start beef with an entire country.
Well, you two can. The Dirt's not.
Disassociation there. There's definitely got to be an American section in there. I say I quite like Stars and Wipes. That's a pretty good one.
We could go. We'll come up with something.
Yeah. There was something to do with hot action, like hot sticky brown action or something like that.
More vulgar.
Yeah. So we could try and we are both avid fans of that video. We always talk about it. So it could be good to get the cast of hot action involved.
There was the Dirt. Is it Justin Dersham? Was it the Dirt Star Army?
No, it's 1-5 Media, which I think is the alternative to Dirt Star Army. One of the other crews. Justin Dersham, and it says some other guy that produced it, but we always remember Justin Dersham. I think because he came over here and wrote filmed with the ATC guys and all of that lot. But I can never remember what the other guy's name is. I think it was two of them.
What, the fit that produced it, or
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember. They're really like, I remember Shrouddown. Do you remember the first one, Shrouddown? That was like super high production for that era as well. I watched it the other day, and it's still
Yeah.
pretty good.
It was the first HD Mountainboard video. So they used to like, part of the reason he didn't finish Break the Bank was because he used to hire a studio to edit, because it was all like, kind of, because he was at the start of like the HD stuff. It was quite like high tech. You probably needed a good computer back then.
Mm.
Whereas like when we started making videos, it was all a bit cheaper.
Very true. So you say Break the Bank. Do you think there's a half done version of that somewhere?
Yeah, I don't think he ever got past the trailer. But the footage must be somewhere. But I did message him a while ago asking. There's probably some story where like the hard drive broke or something. It's probably, isn't it? Let's just say
that broke the bank and they couldn't afford to fucking complete it.
Yeah. I've just gone on my Facebook. There's 2 messages from me to Justin Dersham. So we've got both in 2012, it looks like. Hi, when's Break the Bank going to be done? The second one, when's Break the Bank coming out?
Do us a favour. Just put question mark.
Yeah.
Still waiting.
Just put the same thing again, copy and paste.
Yeah, I've just done that. Every like 8 years, whatever. No, like 11 years.
Set an alarm for 8 years' time.
Yeah. Oh, I would find that so funny if I like after like say 11 years. I said, Emlyn, I recognise that name thing, and then look up and the message above it is exactly the same from 12 years ago. Oh. Please, yeah, Justin, if you listen, finish Break the Bank.
We're all waiting, Justin.
Yeah. Still. Yeah, I don't know where we're at now. What time are we on? We are on. We're coming up for around about an hour and 3/4, hour and 40 minutes there into this session.
Oh wow!
I want to stick with the role situation a little bit here. I mean, we have obviously talked a little bit about it, but talk to me about the future of the role situation.
Yeah, well, I guess one thing is, like we were saying, it would be cool to get some other sports in, but also we were saying maybe when we're having more sessions, maybe do some slightly more vloggy stuff, like probably like using the dad cam or something, the little like handheld camcorder, so where we can actually like do the news blast as it's happening in real time, like, oh, we're at Mount Fest and this is what's happening. Do some interviews in like, shove a camera in people's faces and ask them some scrunch or folds in real life.
Get people in real toilets talking. I think that was sort of the idea when we started.
Yeah.
Do some stuff from the cubicles at the ATBA con. Maybe.
Yeah, well,
I think. Do you remember
your interviews in one of the portaloos?
Yeah,
it's
so good.
In there in one.
Yeah.
There was a thing a while ago. It was one of the like quite annoying Radio 1 presenters, and he used to like do these interviews where he was like there, like right up against someone's face, and it just made them so awkward. So the interview had quite a different feel to it than just like a regular one. So yeah, that kind of thing.
Super intimidating.
Yeah, you're both like stood above a toilet, like pressed against each other. It'd be great. Thanks. So that's the future.
That's the future.
I definitely think there's space for much more content of that from you guys. I mean, ever thought of putting it onto as a visual as opposed to just keeping it audio, or because we like generally with if you're an audio podcast listener, those are the people who listen to our podcast. But if you're not into podcasts, most of those people would either watch it on YouTube or they'll play it on YouTube, but then just put their phone down and walk away, listen to it in a normal audio manner, but just not necessarily watch it.
Yeah, I think kind of because it's mostly just us and we get a guest on for a bit, that's kind of why we haven't really done it on YouTube, because I think with your one, like, you have a different face to see each time for like the duration of it. So I mean, yours would still be good if it was just you two, but like, that does get a bit samey.
You're young and handsome. You could fucking pull it off a tree, man.
I kind of think if we did do that, I'd love to do like a face jacker style thing.
Yeah,
where it's like, like a collaged animation to go with what we're saying.
That was my dream.
Yeah,
starting the Dirt Out to do exactly that.
It's so much work.
My goodness, it was just impossible to try and it would be a full-time job to do like a 2 or 3 hour every week.
Yeah, it'd be nuts. But I think like I was saying, like going out in a field with a camera, doing it kind of at an event would probably interest us a bit more in terms of the video side, but you never know, we might actually have a think about it and start putting them up on YouTube. We do record them obviously from Zoom, so it's not that hard.
Yeah, we could put them up. Yeah, I think for now, like the idea was we wanted to keep it really short at first, didn't we? And we have gone a bit over that now, like some of the episodes have got a bit longer, but I think the idea was it's like a quick little, just to be a bit different to you guys, whereas yours is like a full like story, like quite a long length episode. Like I think the original inception of the Raw situation, we were talking about doing it for like 15 minutes or like 30 minutes max, and then it's just like a really quick, just a quick news blast with a bit of funny stuff, and like it has a bit snowballed from there, like length wise. But I think the idea was just keep it dead simple, get it on Spotify, so even if someone's going on like a half-hour car journey or a bus journey or something, they could just whack on a little quick blast of mountain boarding. And that was sort of the niche we were going for. So the video thing didn't really come into it at that point, I don't think. But like Emlyn said, it'd be cool to do some more stuff over the summer when we're out and about, or little, like vlog style type stuff. Yeah, cool.
We're literally just coming up with ideas like as we go at the moment. Like just talking now, I just thought, I guess another kind of inspiration for it was that skate line on Thrasher, where he sits there as if he's in like a newsroom, and then he's got the videos playing like by him. So that would probably be a good way to do it. Like we kind of chat.
Or if you just did your news blast section.
Yeah, that'd be really good.
Put that up.
Yeah. We could just get Zoom background to like something funky going on.
Yeah. And then just stick videos up like by our heads. Like you guys do.
To do a 5 minute, if say you had your whole episode released as an audio piece and then just did your 5 minutes of your news blast as a visual thing, you could definitely do that face jacker style, couldn't you?
Yeah, it's a good idea.
That would be far less an amount of footage and images to find and work to do, but
yeah,
I like these ideas. It feels like we're back on that ferry.
Yeah,
hive mind.
One other question with regards to role situation and that. Now we've got Cream Teas and Jam, or Dream Teas and Jam, I should say, has been announced. Thank you for hosting another one of those, Emlyn and that, and DC and whoever else is behind
What's
the
the date, Emlyn? Do you want to give a shout out?
Sorry?
Do you want to give a shout out for what date?
Oh yeah, so it's the 20th of May at Bugs Boarding, of course, and better book off 21st as well, because we'll have a party in the evening. Because last year when we did it, it was in October, so it was a bit cold. Everyone kind of left after the day, but this year it should be really good weather, and we'll have some fires and some music.
Yeah. This last year we the Dirt was gracious enough to help out with some sponsorship prizes and bits like that, but we had an email the other day from Dave Compton saying that unfortunately, due to commitments and ties, that we're no longer viable sponsors anymore for this. That the roll situation has now taken our place as headline sponsor of the Dream Teas and Jam. Like, I assume that this has come from you, Emlyn. Dave would never do that to me. We're like brothers.
I didn't think he was going to tell you. I said to keep it under wraps for a while. Yeah, we've got probably the main prize of the whole competition will be the one branded roll that Will hasn't used yet, unless he has.
Yeah, we used them both when I got into a bad roll situation.
Oh, no.
No, please, Will, order me one.
Yeah, I'll order some.
I can put up here or behind Action Man there.
I'm expecting you to crawl into the sewers and get it back out.
Both of them. I got to a situation where I didn't have any roll in the house, and it was like I don't have time to buy any, so I got cracked into. But it's probably the most expensive wipe I've ever had.
Yeah, I've got 2 words for you: spring force. You'll never be in that situation where you got spring force.
Did the second roll have a Labrador on the last piece as well?
Yeah, that was that one. That was the second roll.
Oh, what? You didn't tell me that you'd used both at that.
I was embarrassed.
There she is.
Look, we've got our logo here, and then it's just this very black Labrador.
Is that the only piece of the row situation toilet roll left?
Yeah, that's just half of it.
Half of it. You've kept the Labrador. You've kept the Labrador and just kept half of your own product.
That's your first collab.
Yeah, the Labrador.
I couldn't believe it when I got to
it. Okay, now. Well, it was you spent your money on it, so you can do with it what you like. I'll order some next time.
No, I'll get some more in. I've used them. I want to get a few in for like prizes for competitions, and
it'd be good.
Hide them around in different cubicles, although that could get pretty pricey. But yeah.
Speaking of Dream Teas and Daydream Productions, I've actually got Connor Tyson here at my house, and he is quite keen just to ask us. I think he wants to ask us all a quick question, if you guys don't mind.
No, if it's all the same, no, just keep him out there, please.
Playing Tony Hawk.
Bring him in. Is he out in the van? You've not left him out in his van, or is he in? Is he in the wall inside?
Yeah, so his van's broken down at the moment, but he's got some climbing training in Bristol, so that's why he's over at mine. And he's actually playing Tony Hawk, so he might not want to come in, but I'll just quickly go and grab him. Talk amongst yourselves.
Oh, cheers, mate. Just talk amongst yourself as if it's his own podcast he's on.
He's really
Getting far too big for his fucking boots, that boy.
Where have you got are you on your phone or your laptop, Sloggs? It appears to be just like in your crotch. I saw the size of your legs there for a second.
It's on my phone.
Right, it's just in the crotch area.
Have the seat.
Yeah.
Here he is, ladies and gents.
Hey,
yo.
Give him the floor.
How's it going, guys? You alright?
Welcome to the Dirt crossover.
Oh yeah, what a collab! Collab of the century, mate.
Yeah, it's now Daydream Productions as well.
Yeah, good time. Yeah. Collab you didn't know you needed, but you've got now. We're here.
We hear you have a question or two for Will.
I do. I've got a question that can either be to Will or to everyone. So depending on what you want to do with it, I'll ask the question and then you can all answer it in a small way. Or Will, you can give me a fat answer. All right.
Let's open up to the floor. But actually, go on. Let's hear the question.
All right. So my question is, like me and Emlyn were talking about skate parks earlier, and I was saying, what is your favourite skate park in the UK that you've been to? So it could be like indoor or outdoor, but I was thinking outdoor in my head because I was thinking about like real creative things. I've also just been playing Tony Hawk for a while, getting hyped up. So, yeah. What's your favourite skate park and why? Where is it?
Okay, I've got one in mind. I've not actually been on a mountain board there, which is a shame. But I don't. I think there is parts of it that would work really well, but other parts of it maybe not. It's like a plaza, but it's in Stoke Plaza. I don't know if anyone's been there. None of you guys are really around this area of the country, but Stoke Plaza, it's like the biggest. I think it's the biggest outdoor skate park in the UK potentially, but it just happens to be in quite a rough area, so I don't think anyone really goes. But
I remember seeing it. Sorry, I remember seeing loads of pictures of it a while ago and thinking like, this was before like all these really good skate parks have sprung up more recently. But I was like, wow, it's massive. It's got like a huge like stair set and stuff, doesn't it? So I never actually got to it, but it looks good.
It's got bits on the way down to it as well. There's like a little bit of a snake run type thing with like some concrete berms, and they come down the path like towards the skate park. So I think that stuff would be good on a mountain board, but I'll have to have a trip up there at some point. But yeah, that'll be my one. Good question.
Nice. That's you know what the reason that I asked this question is because Emlyn was talking about a skate park that had a snake run, and got me thinking, ooh, where else are they? I was saying like there's a little snake run in Southsea, I think, in Portsmouth.
Yeah,
or
there's one at Southsea, Romford.
Yeah.
Where else, Dan? Where can you
Romford? Is Harrow still there? Harrow and Wealdstone.
Oh, nice.
I think Harrow's still.
I'll have to check out the one in Romford because I'm there quite a lot, actually. Sadly.
Yeah, it's
proper old school ones, aren't they?
Yeah.
Really old school. If you're gonna skate it, take some soft wheels because it's like front now.
Rough,
it's really old.
rough concrete.
Mountainboard only.
My favourite skate park to skate at has got to be the pool at Concrete Waves.
That looks so good, though. I can't wait to get down.
Did that used to be called Wooden Waves back in the day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
it's exactly the same place.
Oh, nice.
Where is that one?
Newquay.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Yeah, me and my girlfriend were planning to do like a Cornwall skate tour back in August or something. And then I smashed my hip, so I was banned from riding anything. And it was like shit weather, and we both had a cold, so nice. we went to Cornwall anyway, but we didn't go near a skate park. So we're going to do that again this year.
There's a lot down the southwest now. There's a lot of new concrete been put in, and there's really good stuff down here now. Yes. Very lucky down here.
There's loads of Maverick skate parks down here. There's going to be one in every bloody town, which is quite frankly awesome. But yeah, I think my favourite, like I suppose my all-time favourite, it would be Meanwhile Gardens in London.
That's the triple bow one.
Yeah, with the pump bump nipple in the middle and the sausage pump bulb in the deeper end. So that there, because it's got a height for everybody. You know, if you're a beginner, you can session the top bowl or the top bowl, and it's like 2.5, 3 foot coping height, and it's it's hard to hang up on. And then you go down the bottom,
then take it down the next level and drop it down again.
Yeah, it's just nice. Hips everywhere.
Sick.
Awesome.
Didn't mention Brixton though, Dan, did we?
No, we didn't. And I suppose that's got a snake running of sorts, hasn't it? Yeah. Has it still? I don't know. They've resurfaced it recently, haven't they? Brixton?
I think all the old features are still there.
Right.
They've just added onto it, but
redone all the DIY section of it.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I need to do a London skate park tour as well. Then.
Yeah, loads of spots.
I've not really skated in London. Weirdly.
Oh, there's so much down there now. House of Vans as well.
Oh yeah, I like that place.
Like closed 2 weeks ago, Dan.
Oh, you're shitting me.
I thought
it shut a while ago, actually.
I only managed to skate it once as well.
That was a cool place.
Is it my go?
Yeah, go on, Emlyn.
Well, I was just having a think, and my my favourite place in the UK to skate outdoors is Cirencester Skate Park in Gloucestershire, but that's just like really mellow plaza, and it's made like completely by like designed completely by skateboarders, so it's just got like so many features, and you can have loads of people skating.
Do we go there in our tour?
No, I don't think it was made when we did our Daydream in the Life tour.
But
I tried mountainboarding there the other day, and it was rubbish for mountainboarding. Like it's too mellow, the whole thing. You just don't get any speed. So I actually don't know what my favourite mountainboard one is. Dean Lane, where I went and broke my elbow the other day, was really cool because that's all downhill. It's like a mountainboard park. But
if you got a bit of gradient, surely that's got to be key. Like the sound of Stoke Plaza sounds good. You know, if you've got like a couple of little berm corners and switchbacks, but with features along it, and you can keep rolling without having to push your mountain board. That's going to be the key.
Yeah, there's definitely parts of it that are like properly downhill, but even the main plaza bit sort of trickles down from like a higher ground to a lower. So I think there is a lot of it that you could hit, but
that sounds sick.
Very cool. A few different spots. I like it.
What about you, Connor?
What about me? You know what? I don't know really. I like. Where was that place that was in Stroud? Was it Rush?
Yeah, Rush was fun.
You know what? I really like that, mainly because of the run that they had where it was like the jump run, the jump line.
Oh yeah, so it had like this whole pump track with jump boxes in it that like went around the side of the skate park.
Where Eamon bent his truck on it, didn't he? Go around the corner, smashed into the wall.
He does that a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a truck bender, that guy.
Unfortunately, that closed 2 years ago now. But Matt Brind actually just sent me some footage from it, from when Cody and Arno were there with Matt. And it's pretty good. I'm editing it at the moment, and there's some good stuff to see in there. So you get a good impression of what once was.
Yeah, that was fun, that place. I like that. It was cool. Yeah. I'd say, yeah, I don't have anywhere current that's like overtook that for me for being more fun, but it means I need to ride more, which is obviously true, but yeah.
You got to come up to Corby. I think that's the best.
Yeah, not been there yet.
So good.
Yeah, so many spots I haven't been.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Connor. And I was thinking, well, not to invite myself on for a fourth time, but I think got to have a Daydream episode at some point, surely. If I can encourage these guys to actually get
I think your bloody T-shirt's been hung up on there now for about 4 or 5 episodes, so getting the representation here.
Appreciate that, yeah.
Well, I've got loads in a bag just sat in my room that we need to sell.
Maybe we could do a giveaway or something of one.
Yeah, we definitely should.
There you go. Well, yeah, I mean, why not give them away on a podcast like such as The Dirt or something? We can organise
maybe the best question like wins a T-shirt or something. We'll figure out.
Emlyn, do you want to do a quick advert for your T-shirts now?
Yeah, I'll grab one.
Yes.
Well, there's one behind Dan, but
we'll pretend that isn't there and get another one.
Give us your P&P, give us your spiel.
The thing is, Nash, being as active and lovely as he is, actually said, I put a little thing on our Instagram story saying these are for sale, and straight away he was like, yeah, I'll buy one. And I don't think I ever replied to him, the poor guy, because we never agreed how much they would be. So
this is a real official business side hustle here we've got going on. Pretty organised and like efficient.
Should we do pay what you want, maybe?
Yeah, pay what you feel.
Pay what you think it's worth.
Yeah, pay what you yes, I like that. That we're going to be rich, mate.
Yeah, cool. So so the PayPal is emlyn.bainbridge@hotmail.co.uk.
Yeah.
Pay what you want.
You might get a T-shirt, you might not. You might get van build.
I'll tell you what, and he was giving you Jip Will for using the Row Situation merch.
Yeah, we're all embezzling funds here.
Yeah.
Embezzling a lot of money. We're talking big bucks that are getting put behind right now.
Oh, with all the Instagram checks and the bloody the
He's
only
royalty.
fans and the Patreons.
I actually retired 7 years ago, and I'm still living off that.
It's all money laundering.
Gary Bowman still lives off his 0800 reverse sponsorship money.
That's it. Much like us with like our 5 Vimeo videos, they pull a lot in royalties. To be fair. Yeah, they do. Yeah. It's a good investment in our teenage years for sure. Profitable sport to be involved with for sure.
Listen, gents, I'm very much nervous of not running too much on time here. And at this time in procedures, we would normally venture into Sloggs' 10 set. But we're going to do something a little bit different here today for the sakes of the crossover. The DC versus Marvel, I can't remember what are the famous
Predator versus
crossovers.
Alien?
Sorry?
Predator versus Alien.
Oh yeah, Predator versus Alien.
Light versus dark. Night versus day.
Good versus evil.
Oh,
Up versus down. Front side v backside.
Regular versus goofy.
this is starting to sound like Sloggs' 10 set.
That's true. We should probably just do it. Right, I might have to take the chair. Sorry, Connor.
Oh, go on, mate. Come on, go on.
Yeah,
You to Connor.
have a swap around. Thank you, Connor, for
Cheers,
joining
mate.
us.
Thank you. I'll just wait down here.
Right, so are we playing this then?
So, shall we do our 10 set for you first?
Yeah, we've got
Right.
something prepared. We've got a little something.
What should you do? Answer alternatives, Dan? You answer the first, I'll answer the second.
Okay, go on then.
Let's do it. Right. Get the list up. Do you want to? We'll read out. Should we just do one each or something, Emlyn?
Yeah, we'll take turns.
You can do the first one. You came up with this one.
Okay. First one is regular or constipated.
I'll answer that one. I've been on the Cocodamus, got a toothache, so I'm a bit constipated.
Oh no.
Nightmare.
I am regular like clockwork. 7 a.m., 7 p.m.
No way.
Pretty much.
What, twice a day?
Yeah.
Couple little ones.
Once when I get up in the morning after I've had my breakfast and my tea and stuff like that, and then when I get home from work, generally I'm busting a gut.
This isn't something we've been into yet. The 10 set's meant to be quick, obviously, so we won't go into it. But we will explore soon how many a day. That'd be
I'm
interesting.
a one-a-dayer man, normally.
Really? Jealous.
And at 7:15 a.m.
Wow.
Very
Because
specific.
you're damn sure I'm getting paid to have a shit, so I'm having one at work.
Yeah, good show. Good show.
You want to just get into work? All right, guys. Yeah. All right, just clocking on. Off for a shit.
Yeah. I
Every
start work
day.
at 7. I have a shit at 7:15.
Wow, I could not get to work without having had a shit first.
No way.
I had a black coffee and a fag on the way to work. By the time I get to work, I need that shit.
Yeah, I bet. Right, I got another one for you, gents. Number 2, favorite mountain board film with dirty in the title. So we thought of a few. So I don't know.
Ah.
I've got to go with Dirty Tricks 1 and 2 because I've seen them so many times, and they're like running constantly at the Mountainboard Centre, and they're like imprinted on my brain
Nice.
as some of the first ones that I'd seen.
They're on VHS as well, right? I seem to remember seeing
Yeah,
them. Yeah, proper old school.
Yeah, I'll actually get a copy if anyone's got one because I've still got a VHS player.
I've got a copy of it here.
I know. I've never seen it.
I'll bring it yours.
Cheers.
Is that
it's
on
only
DVD or-
Dirty Tricks
or
1.
something?
Sorry, it's only Dirty Tricks 1. But you can't. It's Andy
And it's
Packer
on
put them on.
Betamax.
Andy
Right.
Packer put them on YouTube. They are up on
Cool.
there.
I
I'll have a
know.
look.
I'll have a look. Sweet. What's your favourite, Dan? If what films are dirty in the title?
Oh, I mean, again, the classics of Down and Dirty 1 and 2, but Rough Riders is the one that has been in my collection as such for longer.
Yeah, that's the one I've got. Sick.
I can't think of. I'm struggling to think of other ones now that have got dirt in the title.
I think they're the main two we came up with.
Dirty
Yeah.
Lifestyle as well, obviously.
Oh,
Yeah, there is
you better
dirt.
mention Sammy.
Nah, that's fucking bullshit. That one, isn't it?
It needs to mature a bit, doesn't it, to become a classic? So next up, we've got Andrex or Cushell.
Well, I go Cushell on that. I don't know that I've ever had an Andrex.
Or do you hate puppies or something?
No, it's just, yeah, I hate puppies, especially black Labradors.
What?
I wouldn't even wipe my ass if I had toilet paper with a black Labrador.
Way too scary. Anyway,
Maybe that's actually that loo roll company's logo. It's like their take on the Andrex dog.
How do you think the rip
Yeah. Brilliant. Oh, sorry, right, I've lost my next question. Next question is about the first lady of mountainboarding. Is it still Lee or is Ayla Sargent now the first lady of mountainboarding?
Oof.
What's your preference?
Is that a slightly sort of like under? I don't know.
Now,
is that an undercover way of asking? Has the king been toppled?
No, it's nothing to do with the partners.
No. Oh, okay. This is just.
Obviously,
They're both heavily involved in the. Oh look, we've gone dark side of a champion with Will again. I think he's frozen.
Oh no.
There's no eye movement happening. I thought he was just attentively listening.
I'm back.
Who's back?
What was your answer? You've had plenty of time to think about it.
Is Ayla the new first lady of mountainboarding?
Yeah, is Lee still taking the title, or is?
No, I think Lee's still got it at the minute.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think, Sloggs?
Are you?
Don't know who they are.
I mean, I feel bad saying.
What did you say? Did you say Lee?
I said Lee, but
I'll go Ayla then.
yeah, perfect. I'm glad you did that because Ayla's done heaps for the dirt. She even
you like that?
did some of these bits.
I don't know how Claire will feel about all this.
I'm blaming you two. Them idiots are the road situation.
Well, we'll quickly move on. So the next question is probably my favourite, actually, my proudest question. Would you rather drink Matt Brind or James Wanklin's pad juice?
What am I gaining? Am I gaining superpower, super riding powers from either of this? Like,
nah.
I'm going for James Wanklin after he's done a clean run down Launchpad.
Oh.
Yeah, because it would probably be quite like dry.
Because it's so fast, there'd be a lot of air going through. They might have dried off.
Yeah, good shout.
If we're looking at it from that sort of clean point of view, I'm going to go. I don't know much about James Wanklin's sort of cleanliness routine, but I do reckon that Matt Brind is quite a clean individual, and I reckon that he keeps quite clean knee pads. That's my suspicion. I reckon either he or Lee probably washes his knee pads.
But those knee pads are hidden underneath 3/4 length shorts, so they could be really filthy and no one would know.
Will, breathe again. He's taken a massive breath in and he's breathed out again. Thank goodness. For the audio listeners there, Will froze in another fantastic pose there. Like, you just look like you're going like this.
What's happening? I literally work from home as well, and it's good all day. But as soon as I got on this podcast, it's just too much banter flying around for my laptop.
All right. Do you want to hit them up with the next one, Will?
Yeah, we done one up in my absence, have we? Right. Okay. We just want to know what your world champion prediction is for this year. So obviously in France, I think we're all going to be there. Hopefully, who's going to take it?
This is nice. I'm hoping that we will do a spoiler alert or whatever, that we will do a predictions episode pre the championships with a few people, like a bit of a joint episode. And maybe you gents won't care to join one on that.
I think Eamon is come of age and it's his time to shine. I think he's going to pull it out the bag next year as well. I really
don't just reckon it's a hype train.
Wow.
It's riding.
Eamon Shaw, champion of the world. Nah, it just doesn't have a ring to it.
You don't like it?
Eamon Shaw, # not the world champion.
Yeah, he's already won, but not
the world champion. I don't know. I think so. We don't know who's going, but anybody could go, and we've got to have downhill in this as well, isn't it? Because
it's all round.
Yeah, because I think there are some good strong competitors. I think on a good day, Brindy's untouchable. I hate to say it. On a good day, when he's in the zone, he's got feeder playing on his earphones. He's he still cuts the mustard. I think. Especially with the downhill side element in it. I mean, Eamon's quick as fuck. Let's be honest. But
Eamon doesn't know how to slow down. It could be good and could be bad.
Yeah,
of course.
Right, that's a pretty suck ass question. I think you two should answer that one as well.
Yeah, I just
and Connor. What is it?
We want predictions.
Yeah, I am rooting for Matt Bryn. Not like obviously Eamon's my mate. I'd be sick if he wins, and he does have the potential to win. But it would just it'd be nice to see Matt Bryn with his spark back. I think, and he really wants it as well. He's already talking about it. He's already planning it because it's the first time that anyone will have won all three in 1 year. So,
well, there's not been a triple crown for 11, 12 years, over 10 years.
Sounds good when you say it like that. Triple crown.
Yeah. Wow. Matt Bryn wants 3 crowns.
Yeah. I didn't see anybody else being in it really, apart from those two. I think as well, Eamon, I think Matt has the edge over Eamon on the big jump stuff, and the Compiègne jumps are huge. We rode them last time we were there, especially that middle one with the slatted wooden takeoff. I'd say Brindy having the edge on the freestyle there. But yeah, I think the border cross downhill is up for grabs, but I'm going to say Brindy. Again, I agree with Emlyn. He's definitely already thinking about it, and if he's that in the zone already, he's got a chance.
Yeah.
What do you reckon, Connor?
Yeah, I reckon that, like you guys have said, really, when Matt's on one, he is a machine for sure, and I think that if he's riding his best and everyone else is riding their best, I haven't seen better than him. I feel like he's got the potential to be that bit better if he's training hard from now again, even for the next few months.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'd like Eamon to get up there more than anyone, obviously. But it just depends how hard they train.
Yeah. Now they've both listened to this by now. Matt will be he won't want to let us down, and Eamon will want to prove.
No, Matt doesn't listen to the dirt anymore.
Does he not?
Listen to the roll situation. Bearing that in mind, fuck Matt Bryn. Yeah, I'm going James Wanklin then.
Bearing in mind the listeners.
Yeah.
As an underdog shout, James Wanklin on a good day.
Yeah.
Downhill and the border cross.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I hope I don't miss anyone out, but I feel like there are a lot of other contenders. I'm sure you'll discuss on your ones, but
I
can think of straight away, James Wanklin, David, Johnson, Cody.
That's it. None of us have talked about any of the internationals in our predictions.
Yeah, exactly. Nicky is good when he's on form.
Andy Brind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're all of them are in with a shout.
yeah, it'll be sick.
I mean,
It'll be
Steve
proper-
Birkbeck is coming along. Don't forget as well.
He's gonna.
All right. Well, I'm definitely not in the running then because I don't think I'm going anymore.
Should we move on? Should we get the next one? Got
Yeah.
one.
Do you prefer bowl or long drop?
Oh,
Oh no.
that was one of my scrunch and folds. Now I know what it feels like, Sloggs.
Yeah.
Whoops.
I would obviously I use a bowl daily, but there's something about the thought of a long drop that quite appeals to me.
And are you referring to mountainboarding or toilets? I hope you're referring to mountainboarding. That'd be cool if you ride a bowl every day.
Both. Both.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
long drop all the way.
nice.
There's something special about a long drop. There's history there, right below.
Well,
you.
as in the length of time it takes to get
There's
down
a
to the
lot of
bottom.
people shit underneath you.
Yeah, true. Okay,
Nice.
far away you will.
Next one, we got a controversial one. It's Nina or Bugs.
Oh, see, who did we put that on? We put that on Lewis, on little Lewis.
Yeah, he couldn't answer it, could he?
No. Oh, it's a horrible one.
Yeah, well, I said
Bugs,
this as well.
Bugs. I feel like Bugs could just crush me,
Hmm.
just snap me like a twig if I weren't to vote for him.
I'm Mr.
So quite excited by that.
But then Nina's just a delight, isn't she?
Yeah, Bugs would hurt you physically, but imagine Nina's disappointment.
Yeah.
That would hurt more.
Yeah, that would hurt for way longer.
Yeah.
I'm going Nina. I can't upset the maid. I'm going Nina.
Yeah. The physical scars might heal, the mental ones wouldn't.
Yeah.
Did you see the video? Did you see the video Nina posted the other day with that fucking dwarf horse in her fucking house?
Just losing it as a footrest or something.
Really phony. Yeah, they've got loads of animals that just go in and out. They let themselves in. The pigs, no, the weird duck is the ringleader, and he gets the pig to go in and nick stuff, and the pig lets everyone else in. No, I can't remember what it is, but they're all in a gang. And anyway, the squirrels are involved.
So one of the livestock's a locksmith and breaks into the house and lets them all in.
Yeah, they always find the pig in the toilet, so we're going to get him on the roll situation soon.
Yes.
See what his practices are. Talking of which, whilst Will goes to the loot, is that part of the plan, do you think? Not to give too much away, but do you think you'll get the what are they called, Bugs and Nina on?
Yes, at some point. I'd hoped I'm due to be back in touch with AJ.
Oh, nice.
Obviously he's not involved in the same way as he used to be with Bugs, but he's got a lot of history within the sport.
Yeah, definitely.
And yeah, I don't know.
It'd be good to get them on, so we could drop it a week before opening of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I think would they do it? Would they be interested in doing it?
You'd have to go there and make it happen in person, maybe.
Maybe
That'd be easy.
I gotta say
I get the impression that Bugs probably wouldn't know how to use a computer necessarily.
I said that and he was highly offended, so I hope he's not listening. Yeah, because
We're off to a great start then, and I voted for Nick. Now I've offended.
Have you not seen him on Facebook? He was on the mushroom identification page the other day.
Yes, I did see that.
Please, can you help me identify these mushrooms? So I think I'm going to say he's probably a lot better with technology than Sloggs here.
He knows how to work a volume control.
Yeah. I reckon just ask them. I think they'd be up for it.
Yeah, I have to say, it's got to happen, really, as the only mountain board centre in the UK.
Yeah,
The only place in the UK with a dedicated electric mountain board off-road track.
And it's got so much history as well. There's been so many things there.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Bugs Nina, if you're listening, we will definitely hook it up. We've got a few different episodes up and coming, but I won't spoil that.
Or rob their
It's safe to say one of your questions that you asked about first ladies might be potentially a future episode there.
Cool.
But yeah, what are we up to? What are we, a 9 or a 10?
Number 9.
We're going to scrunch and fold now, aren't we?
Oh, we got 2 more. Sorry,
2 more.
it's a slower 10 set than your one.
They can actually count to 10. Sloggs, I swear, is only about 6 or 7 half the time.
Yeah.
Well, some of the time, yes, that's true, because the readers' questions nibble away at my questions.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes I start with like 12 or 13, and you just go dunk, 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 dunk.
Ding. Quick one: Armitage, Shanks, or Twyford?
Wow. It has to be Armitage Shanks.
Yeah. We're contractually obliged to say that as well. Obviously, we've got a big partnership deal with them. So you guys can say what you like.
Well, like Adamant was a big one back in the day down here. I don't know if it was just a local thing.
Adamant?
Adamant.
As in the bat? As in the musician?
No, it was spelt the same, just one word. Adamant.
Oh, right. Like adamant.
Big urinal and toilet. Public toilet.
I thought you was just randomly going on about some bloody 80s pop fucking star.
Stand and deliver. All right. Makes sense.
You're riding a lot of your life.
That's the style of shitting down in Devon. Stand and deliver.
Stand and deliver.
even the maids stand and deliver down in Devon.
All right, last one. We've got it's a double header, the last question. So there you go. So we've got favorite looking mountain board and mountain boarder.
Right, favorite looking mountain board.
Yeah.
To look at, it was too big to ride. Like it was a large board, but aesthetically it looked lovely. The 26X, the old MBS 26X, with with a head, with a nose and a tail on it,
like a hammer.
Yeah.
I know.
If they made them a bit more compact, they looked lovely.
Yes, I agree with you actually. And they had those bindings that were like slightly raised off the deck, didn't they? You know, like they had
like the metal foot pads, didn't they?
Yeah, they were cool. I remember actually when Ride the Hill sold Heart Hill to Mark and Adam, and they like took everything there. We hid one of those behind the door, and then we just kept it for the whole time. But yeah, good board. What about favorite boarder, Sloggs?
What good looking?
Yeah, who's your favorite?
I gotta say Emlyn when he had that tash.
Oh, good choice. Yeah.
I'll go back then. It'll only take me a few years.
He's trying it back for this episode.
I think my favourite, I like all the Dan Wilson era of the MBS decks. I have to say the shape of them as well, like with the leaf and the retaliation deck with that, like I don't know, like a little
the footbeds.
Yeah, like on that little triangular section of the footbed, it looks a nice shape on those, and yeah, all of the graphics on there are all standout graphics there. And best looking mountain boarder.
Yeah, who's your cover man? If you were going to put a magazine out, who are you putting on?
Well, I want to say Connor Tyson, but I feel like I'm being pushed into that now.
You wanted to.
I would say the best looking mountain boarder. I'll tell you, it ain't. It certainly ain't Sonny Dibben, that's for sure.
I'll tell you what, Arsenal Mulholland's a handsome little fucker.
Yeah, he is.
With his
He
little
is.
curly hair. I get a little bit gooey when I'm around him.
Ash Mulholland.
That's the
Yeah.
smell. That's the smell. He smells so good. He is
does smell
definitely
lovely.
Mountainboarder's best smelling person.
Floral.
Ash
I don't
Mulholland.
think that's a tough title to take, though, in mountain boarding. We're all pretty stinky.
That just means he's not riding enough. He's spending too much time in hospital.
I think I reckon Stu Lugger was hot back in the day. Yeah,
Oh, he was a handsome bastard.
he
wasn't
was handsome
Lovely.
bastard.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he still is, isn't he?
I
Yeah,
think
gotta
we
be.
used to call him the Impregnator-tron down at the Priory.
Tell us more.
Oh dear.
Did we?
Yeah, we did, the Impregnator-tron.
Wow.
Move on before any allegations of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I know.
like 10, I think, isn't it? That's that.
Yeah, that's it. I'm just going to throw. It's not my question, but I'm just going to throw Steve Cowney in there because there's that bit in Like This where they're all like, "Who's your favourite member of the BFC?"
I say,
Steve Cowney, he gets away with the ladies.
international wise though, I'd go Arno VDV.
Oh yeah,
He's a handsome bugger. He's got that like rough around the edges sort of look going on, hasn't he?
Yeah,
Oh, you like him, Dan, innit?
Yeah,
Mm.
strong.
yeah. Good shout. Good shout.
So, in the interests of the crossover, then, if that's the end of the 10 set, we have a scrunch or fold. Now, unfortunately, Emlyn has ruined one of my scrunches or folds, but we've done it slightly differently to you, in that I've got 5 and Slog's got 5, as did you guys, but we're rather than taking it in turns, we're going to do 5 and 5, if that's all right.
Right, so you're a scruncher, aren't you, Emlyn?
Yeah.
Will, you're not a savage.
Yeah, I'm a folder.
Right.
I don't know if it's actually divulged on the podcast, but I am definitely a folder, so exclusive content for you right here.
Exclusive. Bearing that in mind, so say for example, if I were to say the question, who's the best looking person in this podcast right now, Connor Tyson or Paul Sloggett? Oh no, hold up.
What?
If I were to say the question, Connor Tyson is the best looking mountain boarder in this podcast right now.
Yeah.
And you would both obviously assume your positive answers.
Yeah.
They're going to be different.
Yeah, it's pretty ambiguous. That's the whole idea with this section of the pod. No one really knows what anyone's saying at any point.
Right.
This section.
Who's going first, Dan? You or me?
Go on, well, I've only got 4 now. I'll do my 4, and whilst you do your 5, I'll see if I can think of a.
All right, that sounds good. That sounds all right.
Oh, my first one is the tracing paper you used to have at primary school. Scrunch or fold? You know, the tracing paper, toilet paper. Did you used to have this, or am I showing my age here? Because when I was at school, toilet paper was like fucking tracing paper. It was horrendous.
Really?
But I don't know if that's been replaced with modern techniques.
Is this primary school or?
Right the way through from memory.
There was no absorption. It was a pure slide across.
Yeah, it was like pretty much like baking paper.
Yeah, greased up.
Grease-proof paper.
Well, definitely a fold for me.
A scrunch for me. Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah. Let me tell you, Will, you didn't want to scrunch this. It created all sorts of sharp angles.
I think even I would fold that.
And if you fold it, you go straight through, don't you? So
Yeah.
4 layers, 4-ply. No.
There was no going through this paper. You weren't breaching this stuff.
Well, I guess that was the idea.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. Training paper. It was impossible to put your finger through it.
Yeah.
Because my little girl, when she'll if she ever watched these back when she's like 18 or 19, she's a bugger for putting her fingers through the paper. Wash your hands. Okay. My second scrunch or fold. The Dirt by Evan Carlson is better than The Dirt by Dan Watson and Paul Sloggett. Scrunch or fold?
Scrunch. No, fold. I don't even know what the first one is, to be honest. I mean, I know who Evan Carson is, but
there you go.
And I know of all his good work with Mountain Stacks, however is that how you pronounce it?
Mountain Sticks.
Mountain Sticks. But I don't know what The Dirt is.
Right. So, well, you're obviously not a bloody Dirt viewer then. So, Benton Jackson.
I haven't got around to that one yet. Sorry.
That's all right. Benton Jackson came on the other week, and we were talking about Vimeo and the wealth of stuff that is on there for mountain boarding in like the 20 teens. And back in 2012, between 2012 and 2015, Evan Carlson produced a vlog that is on Vimeo under the working title of The Dirt.
No. Oh. Did you know about that?
No, I didn't know. Not until episode 51.
Well, see you in court.
Yeah. This could tear Mountainboard apart.
So now the 30 cents that we've earned, 35 cents of it goes to him, direct to him.
all funds now go directly to Evan Carlson, unfortunately.
Well, he's going to have more use of sense than you guys are. What about you, Will?
Yeah, fold from me. I'm sure it can't be as good as what you guys are putting out. So there you go.
Okay. Now this is again, I hope you guys have I'm assuming that you guys have come across this, and I've mentioned this to Emlyn because my nose has been put out a little bit out of joint by this. The new double-length toilet rolls are as good as the old-fashioned standard-sized toilet rolls.
Scrunch. Spring Force.
I'm going to say scrunch based on the fact that I haven't tested them out, and I'm a bit dubious when they say it's double the length. Is it double the length, or is it just like a 1.5? You know, I want to. Yeah. I need some.
There is a double. They're claiming double the amount of sheets. My problem with it. Same size sheets, but see now I like Jeff Bond. Have been a favoured a quilted toilet tissue.
He's quite handsome as well. We forgot about that.
Oh yeah. Oh man, he is fit as fook. But he likes a quilted toilet tissue, as do I. Now, recently, these double-length toilet rolls have come around, and my favourite toilet roll is now sold as a double-length roll. And I thought at the time, first buying it, this is great. You know, double-length, I'm saving, a few pence on it as well. And then I get to open it, and imagine my surprise when it feels like the entire cushioning of the quilted system that has been in place for the last 3 or 4 years of my life has now gone to shit, and it just feels like a standard 2-ply toilet paper. So,
do you think they squeezed it together so tight to put it through the machine?
This is it. It's lost all its quilted, its properties.
They're still trying to get as many packs on a pallet as they were before it was double the length there.
Yeah.
Transport costs that's down to.
I mean,
reach out to them with our sort of sway in the toilet world. We might be able to do something about this.
Yeah, maybe we could. It's terrible though, really, isn't it? Because it's using double the amount of trees.
Yeah.
Shocking.
I have gone back to original standard toilet paper now on double length rolls, and it's no different to the supposed quilted. Don't buy into the hype of double length quilted rolls, basically.
Livid.
And my last question podcasts about number plates. Scrunch or fold?
That's got to be a fold from me. That's yeah, definitely.
They're brilliant.
Sloggs?
Right.
My friend.
Matt Damon's going to play you in a Hollywood blockbuster about mountain boarding.
I just got to look him up.
No, surely Matt Damon.
I think he's quite handsome.
I'll definitely fold. Yeah. Matt Damon is a good actor, good looking bloke. So yeah, I'll let him play me.
Fold, a fold for me. No, I'm folding.
You're more of a Gordon
Folding?
Ramsay look-alike, aren't you?
What?
Yeah, I want Gordon to play me.
What,
Gordon Ramsay and Claire Foden.
He's not nearly foul-mouthed enough to play you, Emlyn.
There was going to be it wasn't an idea for a podcast, more of a sort of webisodes, but it was when Emlyn had his van, he was going to do a cooking show out of his van, and it was going to be Gordon Ramsay.
I'm thinking about getting another one, so I'll bring that up. That's a light. Yeah, it'd be great.
Cool.
Side saddle defecation.
Sorry?
Side saddle defecation. You know, like in the 1900s, like a lady of a gentry, the Lord and Lady of the Manor, where the lady would ride side saddle on a horse.
Yeah. So are we still talking about on a toilet or not?
Yeah.
Not on a toilet.
On a horse.
Have you ever been tempted to go side saddle on a throne?
Yeah, well, I've had to sometimes, I think, because I'm quite tall, so occasionally you do get in the situation where the toilet is a bit too close to the door. So not an intentional side saddle, but I've had to be able
Yeah.
Or too close to the wall on the left-hand side, so you can't get your leg fully in there.
Yeah. So I've had to sort of it's more of a practical side saddle rather than a.
Yeah. In my own houses, well, I'm going to say scrunch, but in my own houses, there's been no room to do that because you've got a loo on one side and a toilet on the other side. I say it like I've got multiple houses. I mean, the houses that I have lived in. So you can't turn, you just have to face forward. But in my girlfriend's parents' house, there's like a wall straight in front of the toilet. So only they're all quite short, so I guess they just about fit in. But I have to go full side saddle for that one. And then the skid marks are over the other side of the bolt. That's pretty embarrassing.
I know what.
Yeah.
I know it's not the local.
Yeah.
I have to say, Emlyn, my toilet at home here, I've lived here for 5 years now, and before living at this house, I never really had much of a problem with pan skids. Yet this toilet here, I cannot get away with it now. I mean, we said about the ghost poo earlier. No, I am not claiming that, because I guarantee you that even if I manage to pull off the ghost poo thing, you will see evidence of it in this toilet. It's impossible.
You shouldn't really, because the idea of a phantom ghost is that you don't see it on your arsehole. So,
but what I'm saying to you is, I could have a clean wipe. I could have no poo in the U-bend, but there would still be signs, like a little bit of ectoplasm left behind where slime goes through the wall.
Is it like when a crocodile enters the water? That's sort of like.
Could be like a poltergeist, that one.
Yeah, poltergeist poo.
Yeah, we'll call it that.
A poltergeist. Right.
That's good.
Right. Rail resurgence. Is there a rail resurgence happening?
Scrunch.
Yeah, fold. It's on, isn't it?
It is on. It seems to be on.
Yeah, I really wanted to start getting properly involved with this resurgence, but yeah, I've delayed my involvement. But I'm going to try and get one of those tubes like Matt Brindon, try and learn loads of tricks like he has. And Eamon's been getting on it. Who else? Jolly Tom has been doing some amazing rails recently.
Sloggs, I've seen you board sliding a
Oh yeah,
wavy slide.
Yeah, the little my daughter's own slide.
Did you see? Well, I'm sure you saw Bish the other day doing that crazy quarter pipe gap. Board slide the top of another quarter pipe. That was mental.
He 270'd into it as well, didn't he?
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
Mental.
The upper body did.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, he's not right, is he? Right. Running your tyres at maximum PSI at all times.
Scrunch.
Yeah, I'm gonna say scrunch on that as well. I think that I don't run mine. I want to pump them up, but I just forget, so they're just never at maximum PSI.
Yeah, I've had a few explosions at Ramp World because I've pumped them up too much. To be fair, I do let them down if I'm riding like big jumps or something. But yeah, no, most of the time, especially over winter, they're max, and I'm always scared they're just going to blow up in the house or in the car.
Last one. Toilet row origami. And it is a thing. I've Googled it today.
Toilet
row
All right.
origami.
Scrunch, yeah, I'd like to have a go at that.
Yeah, fold for me as well. I definitely would like to see some more of that.
Yeah,
Might even try and get involved. Might do a course. Is there any courses available?
There's some YouTube videos of how to do it. So you can be having, like, watching them while you're having a shit while doing origami.
I like that. It's quite beautiful, the impermanence of that. So you make it and then you just wipe your ass with it. That's
That is a shit one.
It wouldn't be scrunch or phone anymore. It'd be like swan or unicorn.
Nice. Thanks for introducing us to that.
Yeah, that's a great one. I'm definitely going to be Googling that after
Yeah.
Yeah,
Any keen listeners of the roll situation, please send in your latest origami creation.
That would be a yes. We'll have to start getting some origami, toilet roll origamis in.
Nice.
Well, look, gents, we are smashing on time here. Well, I suppose with this being your episode, the final question that we normally ask is there anything that we haven't covered or talked about that you feel we should have done?
I probably will think of something after the episode. I'm like, I definitely should speak to the guys about that. But
100% you will.
I feel like we've covered most things, but if I didn't miss anyone that was involved in my mountain board upbringing, there's so many people. But if I did miss anybody, I apologize to them if they're listening. But yeah, no, I think we've covered everything. It's been a pleasure. It's been really good fun.
Yeah, they always are. They're a lot of fun to do. I think that's part of. Hopefully, that comes across in the listening as well. So, thank you, all you guys who are listening and supporting us, and listening and supporting the roll situation. This has been our first sort of crossover, and I really do hope that there will be more. There's certainly there's no animosity between us. We're all good friends, and that will continue. And long may the roll situation continue.
Yeah, you too. Yeah, we've definitely got plans to do some more with you guys.
Yeah, we got
to do. Without revealing too much, we like to do like a in-person thing, maybe some challenges.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Well, we shall thrash out the details of that over the coming months. And yeah, keep putting the content out. Connor, thank you very much for joining us here as well this evening.
Thank you
for coming in and dropping in with us. And Will, this has been your episode of The Dirt. Thank you very much.
Emlyn, heal up quickly, brother. And thank you very much, Will and Connor. Appreciate it, guys.
Will, you might have already said this earlier on, but what are you doing with those Allen keys?
You've been playing the whole time. The entire time, yeah.
You're fixing something under your desk.
No, this is what I bought to like fix my board because I realized that I didn't have any tools at all, not even Allen keys. So I had to purchase this very recently.
You got anything else?
Pardon? Yeah, I got one of those. I got a screwdriver type thing that you can put the.
One of those screwdrivers.
Yeah, I'll just leave it there. I was going to describe it more.
Nice.
Gentlemen,
Oh, cheers.
we're out of here.
Sweet.
Have a great evening. I'll be in contact with you all over.
Take it easy, everyone. See you soon.
Cheers.
See you soon. Bye.
Way aye, man. That was dead canny as out, that like. Cheers for tuning out to listen. Now, before you gan yem, don't forget, if you want to keep getting doing with the Dorty Dort fun, like and subscribe. Get amongst it. Shy Ben's getting out.